Yo! What's going on, everybody? You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green, and we got some major breaking news. The Baltimore Ravens have fired John Harbaugh. He is now a free agent head coach, and the rumors are heating up that he is going to be a favorite for the Giants head coaching job. We just put out a video on the channel with my instant reaction to the news, and I am still in shock. I am in a state of disbelief that this is real, and I don't say this just to blow smoke up everybody's butt. I think that there is a real shot that John Harbaugh is going to be the next head coach of your New York Football Giants. It would be the best case scenario for this organization. Everything that they have talked about that they wanted, everything that they have talked about that they need, it fits John Harbaugh to a T. 18 seasons with the Baltimore Ravens, and only 3 of those were under 500. And 2 of the 3 seasons that were under 500, they finished with 8 wins. The least amount of wins in the John Harbaugh era was 5. The New York Giants won 4 games this year, and they won 3 games last year. He is a Super Bowl champion. He has been to the AFC Championship 4 times. He's won the AFC North 6 times. This is a no-brainer move for the Giants. You have been handed a gift. The Baltimore Ravens gave the New York Giants a gift. All they have to do is pick up the box, unwrap the gift, and don't drop it. Get the job done. Ian O'Connor, who has covered the New York Giants forever and New York sports forever, he is reporting that John Harbaugh is not only interested in the New York Giants head coach job, but also that he is interested in Jaxson Dart. Ian O'Connor saying this: John Harbaugh has a high regard for the Giants job and for Jaxson Dart. Of the 6 head coach openings, he says he believes Harbaugh might have the Giants at number 1 or damn close to it. He says, as I wrote yesterday, I believe he hurdles Kevin Stefanski as the leader in the clubhouse to be the Giants' next head coach. This will be the ultimate test of Joe Schoen doing a good job here. Because just like a lot of people tell me, the Giants' job is attractive because of what Joe Schoen has done. We're going to see how attractive this head coach job is. Because if you can't get John Harbaugh, if Harbaugh goes to another team and he picks another team over the New York Giants, you take a hot knife and you stab a balloon and you let all the air out of the BS narrative that Joe Schoen has done a good enough job in building this organization up. This is going to be the most attractive job of anybody. That's what they tell me. We'll find out if Joe Schoen made this an attractive job. Because if he did, and he made it the most attractive job, John Harbaugh will be the head coach of this football team. If you want that to happen, give me some JHs down in the comments section. I've been saying all offseason long, the 2 coaches that I want the most were John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin. I never really thought that there was greater than a 50% chance that Harbaugh would become free, but he has shaken free. And all you have to do is just not mess it up. Find a way to not mess it up. And I think that you might land the best head coach in this cycle, maybe the best head coach in the past couple of cycles. What did Jordan Renan have to say? Wow. So let's go to the Adam Schefter tweets. Let's go through a couple of those. We'll get everybody caught up here. We have 680 people already in the building. If you want the Giants to hire John Harbaugh, give me a JH in the comments and hit that thumbs up icon. Adam Schefter just minutes ago saying this. Sources: John Harbaugh is expected to emerge as a favorite John Harbaugh is expected to emerge as a favorite for the head coaching job of the New York Giants. There's 6 head coaching jobs available right now. He only mentioned one team by name, but also finished it up with saying Harbaugh will be in demand for many teams. And Giants insider Jordan Renan, who works for ESPN, the co-worker of Adam Schefter, has quote tweeted this and said, the favorite. And you know what? It's that damn easy. He's everything you hoped and wished you could find in a head coach. He's right there. Get the job done. You want to return back to being a blue blood organization? You want to be respected in the National Football League? You want to win games again? John Harbaugh, one time, won less than 8 games with the Baltimore Ravens. And it was 5. And that's more than the Giants won this year. That's more than the Giants won last year. It's that easy. Get it done. And the best part of it is he has the juice, he has the cachet, he has the resume, and he has the ability to walk into that building and say, I want to be the head coach, and I'm only going to be the head coach if you get Joe Schoen out of here. Similar to what we saw last year with Liam Cohen and Trent Baalke in Jacksonville. 2 birds, 1 stone. You might get John Harbaugh, and you might be able to blast Joe Schoen to the moon. This might be the best day of my life. I cannot believe it. I can't. There is a world where this man is not in our life anymore, and we get John Harbaugh in here. Think about how crazy that is. We went from all yesterday. Anyone with an actual brain knew that yesterday was the wrong decision for the New York Giants. And you have a chance to hire a head coach that has the ability to say, I'll be there. I'll be your head coach, but I'm only going to do it if you bring in my GM. And that would be the best thing that has happened to this organization since Super Bowl 46. Oh my goodness. There's an actual chance that you not only get John Harbaugh, that you get Joe Schoen out of the building. Unreal. Unreal. If you're fired up, hit that thumbs up icon and give me some JHs in the comment section. John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh. You might have John Harbaugh as your football coach, Andrew Connell.
Today has the potential to be a great day until the day when the Giants hopefully hire John Harbaugh as a head coach, and that'll be even better than today because it'll also mean likely, potentially, that Joe Schoen is gone. Shout out to everyone. Appreciate you guys. If you're a Giants fan, you're pumped up, and you want them to hire John Harbaugh, hit that like button and get those JHs flowing in the comment section. Yeah, this is listen, we were getting ready to do another video, and all of a sudden this John Harbaugh stuff came out, and the mood and the vibes changed. And we talked about, on the video we did do about John Harbaugh, about how yesterday with the Joe Schoen news we weren't excited. And even as we started to do head coach candidate videos, we weren't really excited. They wouldn't really have the juice or the excitement a guy like John Harbaugh could bring to the Giants. He is, I don't know, what you said top 15 in the video?
I think he's a top 5 football coach alive.
Yeah, it's
NFL, college football. I think he's a top 15 football coach walking this earth.
Yeah, and a lot of it has to do with the credibility that he brings, the kind of just stability, credibility, that you're not going to lose many games, or you're not going to be outcoached, unprepared in games when John Harbaugh is coaching your football team. You're going to do all the little things right. You're going to execute, and he's going to get the most out of whatever the Giants have, and that's kind of what they really haven't done in the last couple of years.
The reports coming out that the reason he was fired from Baltimore was because he was unwilling to move on from Todd Monken. Bring him down. John Harbaugh, Todd Monken, Joe Schoen out. What a day to be alive. Let's go through all the socials that we have to update everybody watching this video. I see all the super chats coming in. Major salute to all of y'all. We're going to get to all of the super chats coming up in a second, but I want to catch everybody up on all the news that's going down. John Harbaugh has been fired. Let's get that on the L3 if we can. Adam Schefter tweeting out sources. John Harbaugh is expected to emerge as a favorite for the head coaching job of the New York Football Giants. Harbaugh will be in demand for many teams, not just the Giants. There should be another Adam Schefter social in there, Andrew Connell, about how there were 7 teams that ended up calling the New York Giants, calling Adam Schefter immediately after being fired, and gauging the interest in him. I'll just go to his account and read that one. Adam Schefter saying in the first 45 minutes after John Harbaugh was fired, his agent, Brian Harlan, said he received calls from 7 NFL teams expressing interest in his client. There are currently 7 NFL head coaching spots open. That includes Baltimore.
Okay.
So that means the 6 teams, like we'll just do the math here. I would assume all 6 teams that don't have a head coach tried to call John Harbaugh.
How could you not?
I also think that that means there are teams out there that are looking to go and hire John Harbaugh, even if they have a head coach right now.
Yeah, that 100%. I mean, he would be, if you asked, like you said, if there's a guy who is a top 5 coach in the NFL who becomes available, teams are going to be looking to upgrade potentially, and they have to make the decision on whether or not they want to get rid of their current head coach and try and get a guy like John Harbaugh. If they think he would be a clear upgrade over what they have, that makes sense. Like I don't think it's limited to just those 6 teams. So John Harbaugh will have a job next year if he wants it. Hopefully it's with the Giants. I think based on a lot of the smoke that we're seeing on a lot of these insider people who are plugged in saying that there is a lot of connections between John Harbaugh and the Giants, I think that's good for the Giants.
I think something to worry that I do have a worry about is there are some teams right now that are in the playoffs that could potentially lose this week, and they could look to potentially hire John Harbaugh. You think about the Buffalo Bills and Sean McDermott. That is a worry for me. That is a worry. Do the Bills, if they lose and fire McDermott, do they look to go that? There's some people on Twitter saying maybe the Eagles, if they lose this week, could go and look to hire John Harbaugh. There will be a lot of competition for him. There is no doubt about that. And the Giants are going to have a real-time opportunity to see how good of a job Joe Shane did. Because if Joe Shane did a good job, as some people tell me he's done, it would be a no-brainer that John Harbaugh would be a Giant, right? Like, if that is how good the Giants situation is, then why would he not come here? Give the man a blank check. You just sold 10% of your organization to the Koch family. They've got more money than they know what to do with. Cullen says it's moved, or it's made. He says it's the last social. We're gonna get to see what John Harbaugh thinks of this job, because it ain't just the Giants that are interested in Harbaugh. In the first 45 minutes after Harbaugh was fired, he reportedly, his agent, got calls from 7 NFL teams. Outside of the Ravens, there's only 6 openings. So he was in high demand, ladies and gentlemen. There's going to be a lot of competition here. Like, you got to find a way to get this done. There's no better coach on the market. Teams with coaches are going to be interested. You may have a head coach right now. Those teams are still going to be interested in John Harbaugh. Yeah, as they should.
I think that any team that doesn't have a head coach now has to put all their other candidates, all the guys they thought they were interested, to the back burner. It seems like, and you can weigh in on this, John Harbaugh almost has to be the first domino to fall in this NFL kind of coaching cycle, because no team is going to want to hire a different head coach if they think they still have a shot at John Harbaugh.
Man, you got to find a way to get it done. Let's roll through a couple of the rest of these socials that we got. Mr. Rick says, hey, Mr. Green, just found out Chaw's father, Jake, is still alive. 15-year-old chocolate lab. I love that. I love that. So we talked about what Adam Schefter saying John Harbaugh is expected to emerge as a favorite for the head coaching job. I think that that's worded a little bit weird. It reads as the Giants are going to move John Harbaugh to the top of their wish list. That's how I understand that. Ian O'Connor saying this: John Harbaugh has a high regard for the Giants job and for Jaxson Dart. Of the 6 openings, I believe he might have the Giants number 1 or damn close to it. As I wrote yesterday, I believe he hurdles Kevin Stefanski as leader in the clubhouse, and the Giants are interviewing Kevin Stefanski tomorrow. He is already in the New Jersey area. Peter Schrager of ESPN saying, having not spoken to him yet or being given any confirmation that he does indeed want the job, I think John Harbaugh would be a perfect fit in New York with the Giants. A QB, several pass rushers, a number 1 wide receiver, 2 young running backs, cap space, a top 5 pick. Come on, man.
That's it.
Don't mess this up. This can save the organization. 1, it gets you the most respected and best head coach you had since Tom Coughlin. And 2, there's a chance that he wants this job so bad that he's going to take it and force Joe Schoen out.
Yeah, that would be, I think, for the Giants fans, the best case scenario. You get the chance to get the head coach, John Harbaugh, a guy who is, like we said, a top NFL coach, one of the best in the business, and then you can get an upgrade and improvement at the general manager position over Joe Schoen, who everyone knows the results of Joe Schoen speak for themselves. And you can get an upgrade at that spot, a guy that Harbaugh wants to work with, a guy that he knows the kind of players that can succeed that Harbaugh wants. That would be a best of both world scenario.
Connor Hughes of SNY saying, spoke to someone who worked many years with John Harbaugh. Tell me this isn't what the Giants need. Program builder. From day one, that was my impression of him. He sets the tone for the whole building. Team first. Tough, detail-driven leader. You couldn't ask for a better head coach to be available right now. Like, we would love Mike Tomlin. At least I would. I could speak for myself. I would be just as happy if Mike Tomlin became available, that John Harbaugh became available. But this is what you want. Program builder. Sets the tone for the whole building. Team first. Not Abdul Carter gets to show up to meetings late. Now Malik Neighbors gets to do whatever he wants. You go back to that. I don't mean to move off that. Detail-driven. How many times have the New York Giants lost football games because of lack of attention to detail? When have the Giants been the best coached team in multiple weeks in a season? You walk into every game with at least an even. Like, if you were to do the chart of quarterback, coach, defense, arrow points this way or arrow points that way for what team has the advantage, you will never see one where it's like, oh, the other team has the advantage in the head coach department when you have John Harbaugh. And if you do, it's extremely close as well.
Yeah, he's a tier 1 head coach in the NFL. He matches up with some of the best in the league. You think about guys like, and you mentioned Andy Reid before as we were talking about a comparison. A guy like McVay, Shanahan. I don't know if you'd even throw LaFleur in that category. Guys, there's rookie guys who are good as well. Ben Johnson and Mike Vrabel. Really all the best in the NFL. His brother, Jim Harbaugh as well. He's in that group. He belongs in that group. He belongs with those names. And like we said, the Giants haven't had a guy like that in years, in a long time. They've been cycling through coaches that have just not worked.
You bring him into the building and you immediately go from the laughing stock of the NFL to one of the more respected organizations. Once again, a spot that this organization used to be, a spot that this organization should be. 101 years, blue blood. That's what the New York Giants are supposed to be. Respected, feared. That's what John Harbaugh brings. Do we got anything else in the socials?
This one that we went through about just that every team with a head coach opening is available, is interested in John Harbaugh. We can
pull up that List 5 logo if you can, kind of go over some of his achievements here. 18 seasons with the Baltimore Ravens. 180 and 113. 13-11 in the playoffs. Super Bowl 47 champion. 6 times he won the division. When is the last time the Giants won the division? I seriously do not know.
I hate seeing that graphic that they used to do every year because there was never a repeat champion. It would show all the division champions, and all you see is Philly, Dallas, Philly, Dallas, Philly, Dallas, Washington, Philly, Dallas, Philly, Dallas, Washington. I think has to be like 2010, 2011.
You hire Harbaugh, and you have the best coach in the division by far.
It's not close. Yeah.
He's a significantly better coach than Nick Sirianni. He is significantly better than Schottenheimer. He is significantly better than Dan Quinn. Like, what teams in the NFC have a better coach than John Harbaugh?
It's hard to argue with any of that.
What's up? Oh, Lord.
Yeah, and like this is something we talked about in the video too. How many more games do the Giants win this year if they have John Harbaugh? You look at how many games came down to just the margins for the Giants. How many games that they were close that they lost by one play here or there or in the last second, something along those lines. You get John Harbaugh. You had John Harbaugh coaching this team. The Giants this season probably goes a lot differently.
We're looking good, looking good. We are so up right now. Ben Johnson or John Harbaugh? Who's the better head coach?
You're going to go with 1 year over 18?
Who's better, Matt LaFleur or John Harbaugh?
Matt LaFleur hasn't gotten it done.
Kevin O'Connell or John Harbaugh?
None of these guys have a Super Bowl
Dan Campbell
trophy.
or John Harbaugh?
None of these guys have a Super Bowl trophy.
Canales in Carolina?
That's
Do the Bucs have a head coach? Atlanta doesn't have a head coach. He's better than Kellen Moore in New Orleans.
And you argue maybe some of those West head coaches, he's right there with them. Sean McVay,
is Mike McDonald better than John Harbaugh? You know who is better than John Harbaugh? Sean McVay. I'll give you that one.
Kyle Shanahan.
And he hasn't won a Super Bowl. Kyle Shanahan. Is Kyle Shanahan better than Harbaugh?
He doesn't have a
Maybe.
Super Bowl.
I don't know. Arizona doesn't have a coach. So even if I'm being anti-John Harbaugh, I only counted 2 coaches in the NFC that would be better than him. Only 2. You have a chance to change your organization for a long time. A long time. Look at every year the Ravens are in the picture. Every year the Ravens have a shot. Every year the Ravens are in the mix. And people say, well, then Marshall, why did they fire him? Why did the Eagles fire Andy Reid? Sometimes things just fray over time. 18 years is a long, long time. There may just be a needed for a new voice. And it sounds like one of the main reasons they fired him is because they were demanding a new offensive coordinator. And he said, no, I'm keeping Todd Monken. Bring him to New York. Todd Monken would be perfect for Jaxson Dart. Come on now. And then people say, well, Marshall doesn't coach offense, doesn't coach defense. 18 years as a head coach. I think he's got a pretty thick filing cabinet of who he can go and get as a coordinator.
Yeah, and he knows football, and he's doing something right if he was a head coach in the NFL for 18 seasons. Not to get cliche, but they say the NFL is not for long. You know how many coaches, I don't know what the statistic is, but how many coaches are 2 years fired, 3 years fired? Now we see coaches who get fired after 1 season. Just to remain in the same place for 18 seasons, competing year in and year out. You look, the resume speaks for itself. Super Bowl champion, in the playoffs almost every single year, great winning percentage, 6 division titles, 4 times to the AFC Championship game. John Harbaugh is one of the best in the business.
I just sent you a photo. Let's pop that up. Man, over 1,100 people in the building. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. We put out videos every day on the New York Football Giants, and we are closing in on 100,000 subscribers. If you love the New York Football Giants, you want free videos every single day on this football team, hit that big red sub button right now and help us get closer and closer to 100,000 subscribers. We're currently at 99,114. We are less than 900 subscribers away. Less than 900 subscribers away from 100,000. If you love this football team, you want John Harbaugh as your head coach, hit that thumbs up icon. Here's the 18-year career for John Harbaugh in the Baltimore Ravens. 11-5, 9-7, 12-4, 12-4, 10-6, 8-8, 10-6, 5-11, 8-8, 9-7, 10-6, 14-2, 11-5, 8-9, 10-7, 13-4, 12-5, 8-9. I would do disgusting shit for this to be an 18-year run for the New York Giants.
It's almost like a mirror image of the Giants over the last couple of years, except the losses have been the wins for the Giants, and the wins have been the losses. He's
won 10-plus games in 11 of 18 seasons. When's the last time the Giants won 10-plus games? Who knows?
They didn't even do it the last time they went to the playoffs, so maybe was it 2015, 2016?
And, all I care about this offseason is getting the best head coach possible. But goddamn, I'm a greenie. I am greedy as hell. This head coach gets you a new GM. You think John Harbaugh wants to work with Joe Shane? You think John Harbaugh wants to work with this man? Come on.
I just imagine John Harbaugh sitting there every time the Giants make a draft pick, and he's just like, oh, my God, wow. I can't I don't know if I agree with that one. We'll see. Maybe maybe we're wrong, but this could be the best of both worlds for the Giants. Shout out to everyone in here. Shout out to everyone super chatting as well. We will get those up. Right now, we're just trying to make sure everyone is updated on all the news that has come in on John Harbaugh being fired and him being linked to the New York Giants.
Are there some things that maybe every coach has negatives? Every coach has scars. Just like every quarterback has negatives. Like, I say this all the time on my Knicks channel. No player in the NBA is perfect. And no head coach is perfect. But he's a lot more perfect than every coach you've had since Tom Coughlin.
Yeah.
He's as close as it gets. Do I love the fact that he never made a Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson? No, I don't think that's great. But I'm trying to convince myself of things that don't even that are red flags. He's got none. He's got no red flags. None.
You don't make it 18 years as a coach in this league for any amount of teams, with one team especially, if you're not doing most or almost everything right. And what are you going to say that the reason he got fired, is anything that happened is out of his control? You look at last year. What was that? I remember someone talked about how the last 4 seasons for the Ravens have ended.
They've ended in brutal fashion. You miss a field goal.
Mark Andrews drops the ball.
Mark Andrews drops the ball and fumbles. Quarterback sneak against Cincinnati.
These are not coachable things. These are not things that are John Harbaugh's fault. He can't coach Mark Andrews to catch the football any better than that. He can't coach his kicker to make a pressure kick. Kicker missed the pressure kick. Kicker missed the pressure kick. That's not on John Harbaugh.
Man. Pull up the live sub counter if you can. Over 1,300 people in the building. If you haven't yet, please hit that thumbs up icon. If you have liked the video, type me. Let's do this. If you're a real one, if you've liked the video and you've subscribed to the channel, type me down in the comments section. John Harbaugh has been fired as the Baltimore Ravens head coach, and reports are coming out that the New York Giants have him number 1 on their candidate list. I expect every team to have that does not have a head coach right now to have John Harbaugh as the lead dog in their search. But there is reporting coming from the John Harbaugh side that not only is he interested in the New York Giants job, he likes Jaxson Dart as well. And that is how you sell a head coach. That is how you get him here. We got the quarterback. We got a guy that can be in rare air as a player in this league. Blue blood organization in the New York Football Giants. Come on, man, make it happen. Whoever's calling the shots in this building right now, John Mara, Steve Tisch, Tim McDonald, whoever it is, find a way to make it happen. Find a way to make it happen. Do not take no for an answer. Do not take no for an answer.
Shout out to everyone. I'm going to read the names, but there are too many. You guys are incredible. Everyone here. This could be the beginning of things turning the Giants' way. When's the last time we talked about the Giants got a break? This is coaches like this don't become available, and they don't become available or get fired. Anytime we talked about John Harbaugh becoming the coach of the Giants before today, it was Giants are going to have to trade for John Harbaugh. The Ravens, if they want to move on from him, they'll look to trade him to another team. The Giants could get John Harbaugh without giving up any draft capital. They just need to sign him, and there's no cap, like you said, on what they can pay him. This is it. Don't mess this up, Giants. Go ahead, go get it. He is the clear-cut top coach available.
Paul Schwartz of the New York Post, one of the most tapped-in beat reporters with the front office of this organization, saying, I know for a fact the Giants are interested in speaking with him. Who wouldn't be? I agree. A lot of people are saying, Marsh, why don't they just go hire him right now? You have to go through the process. You have to at least interview 2 external minority candidates in person. So there will still need to be other interviews done. They're reportedly interviewing Kevin Stefanski tomorrow. But man, that's why, and I understand why the Rooney Rule is a thing, but I think it's a double-edged sword. It was made for all the right reasons, and I believe in all those reasons. I believe in that. But if I know that I want John Harbaugh, and I know John Harbaugh wants me, which we think we know right now, but we don't know for sure, why do I have to waste the time of other candidates? That's not right. That's not how business should be done.
Yeah, it's not a perfect rule. Obviously, like you said, put in to help and in for the right reasons, and I think it has worked and helped and progressed since it was implemented, but we've seen teams kind of play around with it a little bit, and I think just the only thing is that every team is going to have to follow it the same way. No team's going to be losing out on having to schedule more interviews, and ultimately, I think the cards lie in this with John Harbaugh. I don't think John Harbaugh has to sell any NFL team on why they should hire him. I think it's going to be teams have to sell John Harbaugh on why he should pick them to be their next head coach.
Man. Let's run through all the socials one more time for the people that are just getting in the building. Over 1,300 people watching. If you could, please hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers ASAP. What happens first? Giants now gets to 100,000 subscribers, or this football team hires a head coach? Adam Schefter saying John Harbaugh is expected to emerge as a favorite for the Giants head coaching job of the New York Football Giants. Harbaugh will be in demand for many teams, not just the Giants. Schefter followed that up by saying, in the 45 minutes after John Harbaugh was fired this afternoon, his agent Brian Harlan said he received calls from 7 teams expressing interest in his client. There are currently only 7 NFL head coach openings, and that includes the Baltimore Ravens. That means teams that have head coaches are interested in hiring Harbaugh. It's going to be tough to get him, no doubt about it. Make yourself the best place available. Give him a blank check. I don't care if you give him the John Gruden contract of 10 years and $100 million. I don't give a shit if you give him 10 years and $200 million. You're a $10 billion organization. Blank check. How much you want, John? You want $50 million? All right, I'll give you $60 million just to make sure that you find a really nice place next to the Quest Diagnostics practice facility.
Yep, those New Jersey real estate prices. So, no, this is it. This is the New York Giants. There is no reason, and this is not a time to pinch pennies. You have the opportunity to get a head coach. Listen, John, explain to John Mara this way. John, you want to not have to worry about hiring a head coach again for the next 10 years? How many head coaches has he had to do a head coach search every 2 years?
And he's got them wrong every time.
Yeah. So, John, here you go. This is one way.
It's a no-brainer.
Yep. You don't have to worry about it.
And you know what? You know what the good part about this is? If for some godforsaken reason it doesn't work out, no one's blaming John Mara. No one's blaming the Giants organization.
Can't believe they hired John Harbaugh.
Yeah. Oh, even I won't come up here and say that. Someone in the chat says, this is why they sold, says Brian Lombardi. I agree. I think it's pretty well
documented.
Documented is a strong word. I think it's pretty well known that the Giants were not the most cash-rich organization. They sold 10% of the organization for $1 billion. They now have the funds with the Koch family. Julia Koch. Get out the checkbook. Find your favorite pen. I don't care if it's a ballpoint pen. I don't care what color ink it is. Write the man a blank check. John Harbaugh, you fill it in. You fill it in. Find a way to make it happen. Don't take no for an answer. Do not. Do not. Couple more socials coming in as well. Ian O'Connor, who has covered the New York Giants as well as New York sports for decades at this point. He is in tap. He is in tune with what is going on inside that building. He said John Harbaugh has a high regard for the Giants job. I repeat, John Harbaugh has a high regard for the Giants job and for Jaxson Dart. Of the 6 head coach openings, I believe he might have the Giants at number 1 or damn close to it. As I wrote yesterday, I believe he hurdles Kevin Stefanski as the leader in the clubhouse. I'm biased, so I'll ask you, as you're not biased. Would you rather coach the Raiders or would you rather coach the New York Giants?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
I'd rather coach the New York Giants. I mean,
if you're John Harbaugh,
if you're John Harbaugh, well, I saw someone in the chat put up a point that if he goes to the Raiders, he would coach against his brother. You think he wants to? I think he would rather meet his brother in the Super Bowl again. I don't think he wants to have to play in the same division as his brother and go against him all the time. And like, both teams stink. But I don't think John Harbaugh wants to go through a lengthy, long rebuild and start with an unknown quarterback who they don't even know who it's going to be, and you don't know if he's going to be good if they draft someone number 1 overall. I just think that New York makes more sense for him.
Cardinals or Giants?
The Giants.
Falcons or Giants?
The Giants.
Browns or Giants?
The Giants.
Titans or Giants?
The Giants.
I am biased. I bleed Giants blue. I know I hate on this team better than anybody out there. Let's not forget they also have the second worst record in the NFL since 2023 and the second worst record since 2017. They give you reason to be upset with them. It is by far and away you're a better situation than the Cleveland Browns. You are a much better situation than the Atlanta Falcons. You are a much better situation with the Arizona Cardinals. You are a much better situation than the Las Vegas Raiders.
Peter Schrager said it. He hasn't spoken to John Harbaugh. He doesn't know what he wants, but he think he'd be a perfect fit. And he lists all the Giants, the reasons why. The Giants have a quarterback already. Jaxson Dart has proven he can play in this league. What's his ceiling? We don't know. But hopefully a stable coach like John Harbaugh, potentially bringing a good offensive coordinator with him, can elevate him to heights he didn't even reach yet this season. Giants have a deep stable of pass rushers. They have a number 1 wide receiver in Malik Neighbors, 2 young running backs who have shown promise, some cap space, and a top 5 pick. And we talked about this. I think this was before we did the video, but John Harbaugh seems like a guy who would want the challenge and want of the New York market.
I think he'd want the reward as well.
Yeah, not scared of that, And yeah, you look at, we're all New York fans here in this chat. There's no place like New York when you win. You can become a legend if you win in New York. And you
win the division and you might get a statue.
Yeah, look at the bar where it's at right now. It's not very high. We just won 3 games the year before that. John Harbaugh, if he becomes the coach, may be able to win more than the 7 games they've won in the last 2 years in one season.
He's only won less than 8 games one time. One time. Connor Hughes says, spoke to someone who worked many years with John Harbaugh. Tell me this isn't exactly what the New York Giants need.
Program builder. From day one, that was my impression of him. He sets the tone for the whole building. Team first, tough, detail-driven leader.
There should be a photo in there, in Photo Square, with another tweet from Connor Hughes.
About the CEO type?
Says, I'm told the Giants have done a ton of preliminary research, or I'll just read it. Says, I'm told the Giants have done a ton of preliminary research on John Harbaugh, preparing for the situation in which he were to become available. They will want to bring him in for an interview, I'm told. There's so much that needs to happen before any hire is possible, but considering what they're looking for, leader of men, culture builder, track record of winning in big moments, not sure he's someone you let out of the building once he's inside of it. I'll say this, and I've been very frustrated on this channel for great reasons, as I just finished up my 5th year here at Chat Sports. This is going to be my 6th NFL offseason covering the New York Giants as well as covering the NFL as a whole. And there's a lot of things that have pissed me off covering this team. And a lot of games, a lot of Sundays, a lot of moments, a lot of contracts, a lot of everything that have broken our hearts as New York Giants fans. My heart is going to be broken if we don't hire John Harbaugh. I am setting myself up for that. Yeah, I am. I am going to put myself in that spot. I am going to be miserable if they don't get him. Because you know what? Joe Shane's been here 4 years. If you can't build, you know what? If he goes to the Bills and they fire McDermott, I can understand that. He goes to the Eagles and then they fire Nick Sirianni, I can live with that. If one of these playoff teams goes out and loses in round 1 and they fire their head coach and they bring in Harbaugh, you know what? Maybe I can live with that. If he chooses the Raiders, the Browns, the Cardinals, the Titans over the Giants, I'm going to be heartbroken. And I am going to crash out harder than I have ever fucking crashed out in my life. Isn't it evidence that if he chooses one of those 4 teams over the Giants, you have to fire Joe Shane?
Joe Shane is the problem.
He didn't build up a good enough spot in 4 years to attract the best head coach that's available.
Yeah, I mean, what that was, if not to build a winning football team, that's the least you could be at, is enough promise.
You picked in the top 10 3 years in a row!
To be turning the corner. And
5th pick, 7th pick, 6th pick, 3rd pick. Four picks inside the top 10, Joe. Come on, man. And it ain't going to be Joe Shane's job to sell the Giants. It's going to be ownership's job to sell the Giants. He ain't working with Joe Shane, boys and girls. Come on now. We don't believe that. I was born at night, not last night. There's no way John Harbaugh wants to work with Joe Shane. And even if he does, I don't care because I'd take John Harbaugh if it means I got to keep Joe Shane. Steve Weish of the NFL Network. John Harbaugh is one of the few coaching candidates that has the gravitas to pull a Liam Cohen and get the GM in place bounced. Told you that 2 hours ago. Come on, man. I need it. We need it. This organization needs it.
The fans deserve it. The fans deserve the Giants to have a football coach the caliber of John Harbaugh. The Giants fans deserve something good to happen for this franchise. Think about what we had to go through this season. The Giants lost game after game, heartbreaker after heartbreaker, and it's okay. We'll get the number 1 pick. Nope. 2 culture wins in the last 2 weeks take us out of the opportunity of the number 1 pick. Now we have the 5th pick. The Giants fans don't have anything. If this season can at least get us John Harbaugh, we're leaving the 2025 season with something. And yes, we got Jaxson Dart.
If he wants roster control, give it to him.
100%. You think this guy
he
doesn't know
wants
football?
to make the picks. Give it to him.
Think this guy doesn't know football?
Like, come on, whatever he needs. You want your own office? You want your own building? Like, whatever he needs. Like, is there a team out there with more culture wins over the last 3 years than the New York Giants? We got the culture for John Harbaugh. Totally a joke, if you couldn't tell.
Hey, if those culture wins are what puts John Harbaugh over the line, they were worth it.
Unreal. We've been live already for 45 minutes. If you haven't yet, please hit that thumbs up icon right now and subscribe to the channel. If you've liked the video, if you subscribe to the channel, give me a me down in the comments section. We got over 1,300 people watching, only 500 likes, somewhat rookie numbers. If you could, please hit that thumbs up icon. It helps the channel more than you would ever know. So please like the video, and we'll get to the super chats coming up in a second. Major shout out to every single person that has sent a super chat. I've got all my thoughts out there. I've said everything I need to say about why the Giants need to get this done. We will stay live as long as you guys want, answering your thoughts, answering your question, responding to what you have to say. As long as the super chats continue to roll in, which we are more than thankful for, we will stay live. And there's a long line already built up. Major shout out to all of y'all.
Yeah, you guys are amazing. Like we said, we can't do this without you. And I think the point that we made, that at least that we started to make there, was the fans deserve this. The Giants fans deserve to have John Harbaugh. They deserve something to go their way, something to break their way, for the Giants to something to go right for this organization, because not much has in the last 10+ years. So
there were some thoughts out there that John Harbaugh may want to take a year off. Albert Breer is reporting ex-Ravens coach John Harbaugh wants to coach in 2026.
let's go. Hopefully.
Come on, man, please.
He wants to coach the Giants.
Please, please. I will beg. I ain't afraid to beg.
Vinny Pip said he'll volunteer to go pick him up. So,
thank God we got him now. And shout out to Tyler Loop, the kicker for the Baltimore Ravens.
The GOAT.
Tyler Loop, I might buy your jersey if we hire John Harbaugh. Because if he makes that kick, we ain't getting John Harbaugh. And we haven't got him yet. Like, let's make that abundantly clear.
Tyler Loop doesn't need to pay for a drink in New York.
I ain't too proud to beg, JSH. I ain't too proud to beg. Let's go. Let's roll into some Super Chats. We will go in order of the Super Chats that came in. Major shout out to y'all. Y'all show an insane amount of love to this channel. I always say this, if the Giants were as dedicated and as talented and as special as the viewers and supporters of this channel, we'd win a Super Bowl every single year. We got a 3-point goal. Marty Malela. Bang! Shout out to Marty Malela. $50 super chat. Give me some double M's in the comments section. Says, let's go sign Harbaugh now. But knowing our Giants, they'll pick Stefanski. I don't know this. I haven't been told this. If John Harbaugh wants to be a Giant, John Harbaugh is going to be a Giant. If he tells them I want to be a Giant, he will be a Giant. They are stupid. They're not stupid enough to not hire John Harbaugh if he wants to be here.
Yeah, I mean,
they ain't that stupid.
That would just be as bad as everything's been, that would be another level.
They wouldn't do that. We'll find out. They interview Stefanski tomorrow for let's go sign Harbaugh now. Unfortunately, you can't. You have to complete the Rooney Rule, which is to interview 2 external minority candidates in person. So they need to get those interviews done first. Jack, my man, $5 super chat. Thank you, bro. Ever seen the cartoon Tom and Jerry? When a bomb gets put into a present and blows up in Tom's face, that's Shane opening this gift. I think this is bad news for Joe Shane.
This is terrible news for Joe Shane. Like we said,
there is a chance he wants to work with him.
There is a chance. Listen, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because if he thinks that the roster is good enough that he wants to come here, then that means that he agrees with some of the things that Joe Shane's done and some of the things that the players he selected, and he thinks he's done a good job. But the Ravens are one of usually the best drafting teams. You would think he may have a relationship with someone there that he could envision as a GM working in lockstep with. I don't know. We don't know. I don't know what if he has any prior existing relationship with Joe Shane and what he feels or thinks about working with him. So, to be determined. But yes, I would say this is the one candidate they're interviewing that could lead to the Giants moving on from Joe Shane after they thought they were going to keep
Art Stapleton tweeting out, I've been told Joe Shane is a lot more respected in league circles than the small yet vocal circle of Giants fans and media on here. What? That pisses me off. That's a snarky-ass way to say that. Because I don't believe that's a sticking point, but we'll see how this entire thing plays out. Maybe he wants to work with Joe Shane. I don't care who the fuck he wants to work with. Sorry for cussing. If he wants to work with, I don't care. If he wants to work with Joe Shane, he gets a job. He wants to work with, he wants to hire his younger son. I don't know if he has a son. I don't care who he wants to work with. Bring him in. Bring him in. I'm with you, Jack. I'm with you. We got a 3-point goal. Brian M. Bay. Give me some BMs in the comment section. $50 super chat. Major shout out to you, Brian. Says Giants need to beat Brady again when it matters most. Hire John Harbaugh this week. I don't know how quick this is all going to work. As soon as we get any more information on an interview time, a schedule, or anything, we'll get you that video ASAP. I think it's they're going to interview him.
Yeah, they have.
That is, I can guarantee you the Giants are going to interview him. I could guarantee you that. Now, does he want to be here?
That's the bigger question.
That's the only question that matters.
And there has been some preliminary reports that have indicated that he is somewhat interested. Obviously, those are just reports. There's no confirmation, nothing we've heard from John Harbaugh saying he wants to be the Giants head coach, but that he hasn't, what was the wording, an affinity for the Giants organization. It's a good thing for the Giants.
Yeah. Brian, I just want to start beating someone. And I don't want to beat people in Week 17 and Week 18 when we're debating on if we should root for the team to win or if we should root for the team to lose. I want the games in Week 17 and Week 18, and I want wins in those weeks to decide, are we playing a home playoff game? Do we get a bye this week? Who on the road are we having to go beat to get to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Tired of meaningless football games in Week 17 and Week 18. Dr. Check. JH comes to the New York Giants. Giants vault to number 2 or number 3 in the NFC. I don't know about all that. I'll say this.
You have to let the rest
You're not the worst team in the NFC anymore.
Yeah.
You're not the second worst team in the NFC anymore. You're not the third worst team in the NFC anymore. You're a playoff contender, and you have the best coach in the division, by far. By far.
You may be the best version or get the most out of what is on the roster as well. Shout out to you, Doctor.
My man. RD, $5 super chat. If you say no to John Harbaugh, yeah. Like, come on, man. Anyone that has a problem with John Harbaugh just wants to be different. Anyone that doesn't want John Harbaugh just wants to be different. They're being mad weird. Rave, stub toe Joe, get her done. Yeah. Stub your toe into the end of the interview. Stub your toe into the way to handing him a check to sign. Stub your toe on the way to handing off that contract. You want ownership? Give him ownership. I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. Corey Haynes, my man, $5 super chat. DaCosta GM, Harbaugh head coach, Monken offensive coordinator. Who's the DC? Raheem Morris? I do think that the Ravens are going to fire Todd Monken soon. Reports came out, and we have heard from our sources that the Ravens fired John Harbaugh because he was unwilling to move on from Todd Monken. Monken will probably be the head coach, the offensive coordinator to this football team if he is the head coach. I don't know what they'll do at GM. If he wants to, he ain't leaving. I mean, I don't know.
Well, because we talked about that, and it's who is the sticking point with who. It seems that it would imply that's Eric DaCosta.
Yeah.
It could be ownership, I guess, but it didn't mention that Eric DaCosta, and he wasn't fired. You would think if that was the case, DaCosta would be gone as well. So
I could also see a spot where DaCosta says, I don't want to fire him.
Yeah.
All right, well, then we're going to fire you. Like,
that's true. I mean,
don't know.
You would have think that would have happened then at that time. So I don't know. Probably still more to come out about this whole John Harbaugh situation and what the future holds for him and what went wrong in Baltimore. And obviously, as we get that information, we'll give it to you and just stay locked in and subscribe to the channel. If we do any videos, you know where to find us. Subscribe. We're on the road to 100K subscribers. Shout out to everyone. We've already gained some subs here today. We got 1,300 people watching. If you want the latest John Harbaugh news, any updates that we get, go ahead, subscribe, turn your notifications on. You don't want to miss this. If it's John Harbaugh or any other coach, hopefully it's John Harbaugh, we'll have you covered.
Come on. Get it done. Find a way to find a way. It's me, my man, Marsh. Oh, my God. Let's effing go, please. I've already tweeted at God. I've already prayed. I've already begged. I've already asked. I would do some disgusting things. I would do really bad things to people if it meant John Harbaugh could be the head coach of this football team. I would. I would. Gabriel, what's up? Who would be the Harbaugh-type pick at number 5? Downs? You're telling me this offseason we walk away with Caleb Downs and John Harbaugh?
Say less.
Let's go win the NFC East. I would love Caleb Downs. How about, yeah, I'm cool with that. What about a badass right tackle out of Miami?
So I guess the bigger conversation here is, I guess, also like how much of the roster could be turned over if John Harbaugh comes here. I guess it depends on who the GM would be and if Joe Shane is here or not here. because it could be veterans they move on from as well. It's all going to play out. We'll see what happens.
Going to be an interesting offseason. Just getting started. H-bombs, Harbaugh, G-men need a culture change. He is culture. You know what happens when John Harbaugh walks into a meeting with players?
They respect him.
Eyeballs on John Harbaugh. You don't see Abdul Carter leaning back. You don't see Dexter Lawrence not engaged. You don't see Brian Burns looking upset. You don't see Dane Belt or JMS breaking this bitch down. Like, you get a team that is locked. That is NFL royalty right there. That's an NFL Hall of Famer. How many times? What did we hear? Darius say, we want to bring in a Tom Coughlin type of coach. Wan'Dale Robinson, we need a leader. Malik Neighbors said, we need someone that's going to bring attention to detail, respect. That's John Harbaugh. You say everything you want in a head coach. All of what the Giants players have said. All what Giants ownership has reportedly said. All what the Giants front office has said. It's that guy right there. That's the guy. That's the answer. That's what we've hoped for. That's what we've prayed for. I don't want to hear anything about, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. 18 seasons. 3 losing seasons. 2 of them, he had 8 wins. 1 year where he won less than 8 games. Super Bowl champ, 6-time division winner. 4 times he went to the AFC Championship game. 4 times he was in the Final Four. He won 180 games. How many years of Giant seasons do you have to add up to get to 180 wins? Someone let me know. Someone let me know in the chat. How many seasons does it take to get to 180 wins for the New York Giants? Someone let me know.
I don't even want to. Hurts my head to think about that.
H-bomb, yeah. Harbaugh, get it done. Get it done. My man Edward Lynch. E. Lynch, what up, E. Lynch? Thank you for always being here and supporting this channel. It's always darkest before the dawn. This could be our shining light out of irrelevancy. Yeah. This has the potential to be 2 birds with 1 stone as well. 2 birds is with 1 stone.
Solve all the Giants' biggest problems.
Man, come on. Come on. David, what's up? Giants not hiring him, and LOL, we're going to fumble. I don't think it's the Giants aren't hiring him. It's he doesn't want to be a Giant.
Yeah, I think
that's the only way he's not on this team.
And if that scenario does come true, that's the sort of thing you're talking about where you're going to crash out, and this is going to be worse than if John Harbaugh was never interested or we hired someone else. The thought that the Giants could have had him and didn't. If they have the opportunity to and they don't get it done, that's the worst case scenario. The Giants cannot mess this up. Like you said, make him an offer he can't refuse. Do whatever it takes. If he doesn't want to work, if he wants to work with Joe Schoen, cool. Doesn't want to work with Joe Schoen, cool. He wants to bring in a new GM, cool. He wants to make the roster decisions himself, cool. He wants to, like you even said, ownership before. Whatever John Harbaugh wants, you give it to him. You make him the next coach of the Giants. You give him an offer he can't refuse, and you set your franchise up for the next 5 to 10 years with a stable top NFL head coach who is proven in this league and is a Super Bowl champion. Yeah, it looks like the fans are willing to chip in too. Hypno says, Harbaugh can have my house. I'm near the stadium. Perfect.
Love that. Love that. Unreal, baby.
We got a 3-point goal. That guy, bang, bang!
$100 super chat from that guy. Major salute to you. They call him that guy because he is that guy. My man, long time no see. Good to see you in the chat, man. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the continued support for us at this channel, at this company, man. It means a lot. Seriously, thank you. $100 donation. That's awesome. Says, bro, I was panicking thinking we got Stefanski. Yeah. I mean, I think there's reasons to be excited about Kevin Stefanski. He ain't John Harbaugh.
Yeah, this news that John Harbaugh is available, if the Giants don't end up with him, takes all of the shine out of anyone else that they may end up with.
Come on, man. This is what we want. This is what we need. I asked Grok, how many seasons would it take to get to 180 wins? If you go all the way back to 2001, the Giants had 178 wins.
So not even.
They have 178 wins since 2001. That's 24 years ago.
Yeah. 20. Yeah. And then you look at they've won 2 Super Bowls in that time, and still. So that just talks about how the bad seasons have been, because you have good seasons sprinkled in there as well, just weighing down. It's unreal.
Come on, man. Mr. Rick! What's going on, Cha? 2006 Harbaugh. Fire Shane in road trip to Canton. 2026 Harbaugh.
Got it.
Fire Joe Shane in road trip to Canton for Eli. I see great times coming for all of us. Come on, man. That would be... I want to go. We will go. We will be there. Once Eli Manning is inducted into the Hall of Fame, we will do a Giants Now Real Ones meetup. It should be this offseason. Should have been last offseason. He got robbed. This is it's a Marshall Green wet dream right there. Marshall Green wet dream right there.
I was going to go with Dream Board or whatever.
No, wet dream. It's so wet. G-Man 24. Marsh, we could finally be respectable again. He walks into this organization and people stop pointing and laughing at the New York Giants.
It's as simple as that. It's just the credibility, stability, and brings you back to what the Giants should be, is a respected top NFL organization. And based on what we've heard in his quote-unquote affinity for the Giants organization and job, I think he sees, like you said, he sees the potential of what this could be and what the Giants could be and what they should be, what the fans deserve. So, just you can see it. You can see it happening, and obviously it's going to be time before anything can be announced and finalized, and we don't know if John Harbaugh does want to coach the Giants, but the possibility is a lot more real than it was 3 hours ago.
Come on, man. Come on.
We got a 3-point goal. Marty Malala, bang!
Give me some MVPs in the chat. Marty Malala says, let's go Big Blue. Hard balls, we're coming for you. Come on, Harbaugh. Come on down. Come on down, John Harbaugh. What stops John Harbaugh from taking this job?
So we're assuming that they'll get rid of Joe Shane if he wants. That's not an obstacle.
They will give him whatever he wants.
So I guess it would just be the ability that he thinks he could win more or quicker somewhere else, I guess. But like we talked about, it doesn't seem like any of the teams that are currently available, currently need a head coach, would present any clear advantages over the Giants in that department. So I think the only way he shouldn't want the Giants head coach is if a team that currently has a head coach fires their head coach.
A playoff team.
Yeah, they have a better.
The Bills, the Eagles. I agree. Do you think there's a little bit of he wants to stick it to the Ravens?
Yeah, so that would be an AFC team, could potentially, I guess the Browns in the division. That would be the case. Give him an opportunity to play the Ravens twice a year. But you also don't think, like looking at the other side of that coin, he's not going to want to go to the Browns and play the Ravens if he thinks he can't beat them twice a year.
Am I dumb to say, and I know I'm dumb, if he wins the Giants Super Bowl, he's remembered as a Giant and not a Raven? Winning a Super Bowl for the Giants, and I'm as biased as they come. Winning a Super Bowl here is like 3 Super Bowls for Baltimore.
Yeah, I think it's got the potential. He's got the potential to be. I mean, listen, he is. I think no one in Baltimore can say anything bad about him. He did great things for that franchise. But yeah, there's winning. Like you said, winning in New York in any sport is a different level than winning anywhere else. I mean, look at when the Giants won one of their 2 meaningful games this year, and they beat the Eagles. You know how much the world was on fire talking about the Giants, talking about Jaxson Dart, talking about Cam Scatterbo. Like, that's just a sliver of what's possible for this Giants organization if they get this thing figured out, get it on the right track. And I'm sure people around the league, and I'm sure John Harbaugh took notice of that and saw how hungry this fan base, this city is for a winning football team. It's there. John Harbaugh's a smart guy. He knows. Hopefully he agrees and wants to take a chance on bringing back the Giants.
Oh, come on, man. I keep on saying that because I need it so bad. You need it so bad. We need it so bad. This football team needs it so bad. This community needs it so bad. This franchise needs it so bad. Please. I'll beg. I don't give a shit. RD, I'll forgive Joe Schoen if they get John Harbaugh. If you say no to John, no. Anyone that's saying no to John Harbaugh is weird. John Toddy, hey yo! John Toddy in the building! That's my guy! Long time no see, Mr. Toddy. Top of the list immediately. Only thing is we need to nail the OC hire too to help Dart develop if we get a defensive guy. Also cut Slayton now. I truly do think that if John Harbaugh comes, he's bringing Todd Monken. Guys, the Ravens fired him, yes, because over the last couple of years it has not been Super Bowl. But reports and things and like all sides point to the last straw was that he would not move on from Todd Monken, the OC. He has a strong relationship with Monken. With Harbaugh out, Monken is out as well. And I think you can bring both of them here. And that would be awesome. Monken runs a downhill smash mouth style of football. Jaxson Dart. He ain't Lamar Jackson. I know that. But he would fit great in that offense just like Lamar Jackson did.
Yeah, and obviously we're talking about in the viewpoint of the Giants. I think that's probably true wherever John Harbaugh ends up, whether it's the Giants, hopefully the Giants, or anywhere. It seems like he is somewhat of a package deal with Todd Monken because he didn't want to move on from him with the Baltimore Ravens. So that could be good news for the Giants. You think that Todd Monken doesn't look at Jaxson Dart and the opportunity to work with him and help develop him and mold him into a high-level top NFL quarterback, because Dart has the ability to enter that group with his physical tools, his running ability, his arm talent, and he's not there yet, but the possibilities, I think, are endless. And I think you'd, again, looking at the available head coaching jobs, you can't argue that there is. You could argue maybe Cam Ward is also a good quarterback, but there's not a head coaching job available with a better quarterback unless I'm missing an obvious thing. I mean, I guess Baltimore Ravens are available now, but they're not going back there.
Man. We got a 3-point goal. Marty Malela. Bang! Stevie Wonder doesn't want to work with Joe Schoen. I'm off Joe Schoen. I'm on to John Harbaugh. If John Harbaugh works here, or if John Harbaugh takes this job and Joe Schoen is still here, John Harbaugh is Joe Schoen's boss. That's how that's going to work. Mm-hmm. John Harbaugh is Joe Schoen's boss if he comes here and Schoen sticks. I think it's probably, I would go out to say if John Harbaugh is a Giants head coach, probably a 60% chance Joe Schoen is gone. That's as far as I'll take it at this moment. Tony Dungy saying this: I can't believe what things have come to in the NFL. John Harbaugh has coached the Baltimore Ravens for 18 years. He took them to the playoffs 12 times. He won a Super Bowl for them. The last 4 years, they were 10-7, 13-4, 12-5, and 8-9. They made the playoffs 3 straight years and missed this year because their kicker missed the game-winning field goal on the last play of the season. And he was fired? I'm sorry, but I don't understand. Good luck, Baltimore, in finding a better head coach.
Yeah, that's like the Baltimore think they're going to upgrade. Obviously, they do. Otherwise, they don't make the move to fire John Harbaugh if they think they're not going to get a better head coach. But like we said, there aren't many out there better in the NFL than John Harbaugh.
Marty, you're a real one.
We got a 3-point goal. That guy paid.
They call him that guy because he is that guy. $50 super chat. Major shout out to my man, that guy. Says, if I have to give all my money to Harbaugh so he comes, it's worth it. Blank check. Whatever it takes. You want to be the GM? Got it. You want 1%, 2% in ownership? Got it. What do you want? Name it. Come up with a list. I got you. We got you. You need that? Gotcha. You want to change the Giants' colors? Cool. I don't give a shit. Whatever it takes. Get the job done. You have an identity with John Harbaugh. I asked Andrew Connell this after we filmed the video earlier. If Lou Anarumo's your head coach, what identity do you have?
None. There is
If
none.
Cliff Kingsbury is your football coach, what identity do you have?
Not one you want.
You have an identity if John Harbaugh is the head coach. Come on.
Shout out to that guy. He really is that guy.
He is that freaking guy. Cazador! If the GM made the Super Bowl, would you stream live? No, we're going to do all the games except the Super Bowl. Yeah, we would do it. Look, if the Giants made the Super Bowl, I would pay every dollar in my bank account to go there, but we would be live on this channel. We would go to the Super Bowl the week before, and we'd be on Radio Row, and we'd be there from Monday to Saturday, and then fly back and then be live on the channel. But we would be at the Super Bowl week. We would not be at the Super Bowl. Maybe there's one day that Chat Sports can do a live watch party from us having a suite at the Super Bowl. I don't know. Anything's possible, but yeah, we would be doing a watch party for that. We'd be doing a watch party for that.
I wish that was our problem, where we were going to stream the Super Bowl from.
Yeah. That's a problem that I wish I can have. I wish.
We got a 3-point goal. Kyle Purpura. Bang!
Purpura! My man. Prelim conversation with yes. The Giants are on the phone with John Harbaugh. They're trying to get on the phone with John Harbaugh. They've already called their agent. Reports already came out, Kyle, that 7 NFL teams have called John Harbaugh's agent. In the first 45 minutes after John Harbaugh was fired this afternoon, his agent, Brian Harlan, said he received calls from not 1, not 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 NFL teams expressing interest in his client. There's only 6 openings, 7 if you include the Ravens. That means a team that has a head coach called him. And if I had to bet who that is, I think it's the Miami Dolphins. Supposedly their owner really loves John Harbaugh. Why the hell would you want to go coach the Dolphins? Yeah. They don't have a quarterback. The quarterback they do have is a selfish a-hole that is owed a lot of money.
Their cap is also screwed because Tua's on that. They gave him that big contract, and now they want to cut him loose. They're done with him, and they're really hamstrung by that. I think a lot of their best players, other than you got Devon Achane and Waddle, but I think they've got some more veteran players as well. And you got to play in a division with the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots, 2 of the top teams in the AFC this year. Yeah, no thanks.
The Dolphins? Are you serious? They're one of the furthest teams away from winning. One of the furthest teams away from winning a Super Bowl. Okay. Yeah, I think the Giants are in conversation with him.
They better be.
Yeah, John Harbaugh. That's 1A. That's 1A for me, and it's the only coach I want at this point. Master of Coin, what's up, my man? I hope Shane doesn't sabotage this gift by hiring in. Yeah, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. Giants are dumb. I know that. They ain't that dumb. They ain't that dumb.
No thanks, LeBron. We got Ben Simmons. Yeah, no thanks. No thanks, John Harbaugh. We got Lou Anarumo. We're good.
WDs, what up, man? If Joe can't close this, let's all unite outside of the Giants building, run inside, and take over the program because we would do better than Joe. I really don't even think Joe Schoen is a factor in this equation. Because all John Harbaugh has to say is, I don't want to work with Joe Schoen. The Giants say, okay, that's fine. And if they don't, they're stupid.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Schoen said yesterday, what ownership is the one making the final call, right, on the head coach decision. Joe Schoen is operating this head coach search, but he is not choosing the coach. Ownership is going to be involved. Ownership is making the decision. So John Harbaugh, assuming he's going to be in the mix, get an interview, which is not confirmed yet with the Giants, that he'll have a direct pipeline to ownership and outline what he wants if he wants to be the Giants head coach.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way that if John Harbaugh wants to be here, he won't be here. And I don't think there's any ask that John Harbaugh can have that the New York Giants would and should say no to. He wants Kevin Stefanski. John Harbaugh lapped him in the AFC North year after year after year.
Dub says this guy says if they don't get Harbaugh, then Stefanski is his priority next candidate. Listen, we don't even know what the full list of other interviews requested were before this Harbaugh news came out. You can't fully interview coordinators from teams that are not that are playing this weekend, that are not on a bye in a playoff team, or they're not in the playoffs. So we don't even know what all the other candidates are yet for the Giants. But like we said, none of those guys still should be over Harbaugh. If they don't get Harbaugh, it'll be a larger discussion about, I guess, who is next. But it's going to be disappointing if the Giants don't end up with John Harbaugh.
The confirmed interviews that we know of are Kevin Stefanski, Cliff Kingsbury, Vance Joseph, Lou Anarumo, Mike Kafka, and Clint Kubiak.
So those are the 6 right now. We know the Giants are interviewing. There's been no official word on whether or not they will interview John Harbaugh. The expectation is that he's going to be interested. The Giants are going to be interested, and hopefully they can work something out.
Agreed. Michael Champlin, the champ is here. Does Shane not being able to figure out the kicker scare Harbaugh? You got the kicker, Ben Sauls. I'm serious. I think Ben Sauls is your kicker week 1.
Didn't miss any kicks. And you think John Harbaugh, they think they can have a funny conversation about kickers? He just missed the playoffs because the kicker couldn't make a pressure kick. So
Rob Jigga says he can't hear the chat. Everyone else can, Rob. You might want to.
You can't hear the chat?
Yeah, I think Ben Sauls is the answer. I really do. Jason, what's up, my man? Unless Tomlin was available, we get to John now. Yeah, I think if Tomlin becomes available, I have a serious question. Joey Peterson, come in here. I have a serious question. Joey Peterson is the host of our Baltimore Ravens channel. Shout out to him. Do you, and I know you have thought that it might be time to move on from him, do you think in 3 years from now the Ravens regret this?
I think it depends on who they hire. I think if they get a guy like Brian Flores or maybe a Robert Saleh, Jesse Minter, Clint Kubiak, all 4 of those, I think they would do great. But, like, if you don't make it to the Super Bowl in the next 3 years, like, what's different than what's the last 15 it's been? I do think the Giants should hire him in an instant.
Oh my
and
God,
I'm not messing with anybody. I'm being 100% honest. If you need stability, you need John Harbaugh. And if he brings Todd Monken, forget about it.
And the best part is he has the juice to say, I don't want to work with Joe Schoen.
Yes.
Yeah. He can Trent Baalke this situation.
Get him on the phone.
Get it done. Did you see Schefter's report? 45 minutes after being fired, 7 NFL teams called his agent. There's only 6. Unreal.
Shout out to Jay-Z. Yeah, like if Mike Tomlin became available, that would be obviously a talking point as well. But with them making the playoffs, that seems unlikely at this point. Who knows? But if you have the opportunity to hire John Harbaugh, he's willing to sign sign the papers. You don't play around with that. You go ahead, you hire John Harbaugh, you move on, and you're happy and elated at how this offseason has begun to play out. Shout out to Jason. We got Fluffy coming in and said, putting on a non-biased hat, realistically, what other team is enticing and why? So we did go through this exercise a little earlier about with the open head coaching positions. Cleveland. Hard to argue why Cleveland would be better. They don't have as proven or as electric or dynamic as a quarterback. Yeah, they have Myles Garrett, but the Giants have Brian Burns. Brian Burns not as good as Myles Garrett, but I think the Giants overall probably have more talent around Brian Burns on defense. Giants have Malik Neighbors. Giants have 2 decent running backs. They got some stability on the O-line. And if you're the Cleveland Browns, you're in that division. You have to play the Baltimore Ravens. You have to play the Cincinnati Bengals, who may bounce back from this year, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know if John Harbaugh would want to stay in the AFC North, but yeah, the Cardinals, we talked about that. They seem like a little bit of a disaster right now. The Titans, hard to see him picking the Titans over the Giants. Falcons, doesn't seem like they know what they want right now. Obviously, that's a winnable division, but again, what's their quarterback situation? Penix has been back and forth. Are they going to go with Kirk Cousins? And what's the other opening that I'm missing? We went through Falcons, Browns,
Cardinals.
Falcons, Browns, Cardinals, Titans.
Falcons, Browns, Titans, Cardinals, Giants, Ravens. Falcons, Titans, Ravens. Falcons, Browns.
Raiders. So, yeah, Raiders have the number 1 pick. They've got some cap space, but we saw what happened on the field, and maybe the Raiders weren't trying to win. I think the Giants are closer to winning than the Raiders are. They also have a quarterback who's shown he can play in the league, versus, the Raiders are going to get the number 1 pick, and they can pick the quarterback they want, but that guy won't be a proven commodity in the NFL. Jaxson Dart's shown that he has the talent to play in this league. And if you're talking about potentially Todd Monken as well, you think Jaxson Dart, like we said, he's not Lamar Jackson, but you can probably run a lot of the similar things you would run with Lamar Jackson with Jaxson Dart, where if you go to the Raiders and maybe they end up with Mendoza or they end up with Dante Moore, I don't know if they're as similar stylistically. And if you're in the Raiders, you're in the AFC West, where you have the Broncos and the Chargers, who are current playoff teams, and you have the one team on the division that didn't make the playoffs is the Kansas City Chiefs, and they've won multiple Super Bowls within the past 5 years. So a little bit of an uphill battle there in that division. I think that hurts the Raiders.
Yeah, just trying to catch up and see if I see anything on the timeline. Carnell Tate is declaring for the draft. So news on that. Jesse Minter and Brian Flores are 2 early defensive-minded coaching names for the Ravens. Yeah.
So, yeah, shout out to Fluffy. We kind of just went through it quickly again there, but I think it's pretty, even in a non-biased way, it's hard for us to kind of fully talk that way, as we are Giants fans and we pull for this team and we, kind of value and value certain things about New York that maybe can't get objective about. But I think that of the available openings, Giants have to be the most attractive one, if not one of the most attractive ones. So the one scenario in which he maybe doesn't end up as the head coach of the Giants is if a team that's currently in the playoffs gets bounced early, decides to fire their head coach, and Harbaugh decides that they're a better option than the Giants. But we'll see. Again, the resolution may not come quickly on this situation. Expected to play out, obviously, and still early in the John Harbaugh situation.
Ambassador, my man. I would love Harbaugh. I think Vegas will be stiff competition, though. What do you think? Number 1 pick and 10 total picks plus young talent. I guess the question is, who do you believe in more? Who do you believe in more? Do you believe in Mendoza more, Dante Moore more, or do you more? Or do you believe in Jaxson Dart more?
Yeah, I think that point about having more draft capital is good because you can reshape the roster quicker with more assets like that. But I think what kind of I just talked about, for me, when I think about it, and how he may be thinking about it, is that division is brutal. To try and go into that division and win when you're going against the Chiefs, the Broncos, and the Chargers, I think that could scare away some head coaches, especially a guy like Harbaugh, who's a older coach, doesn't want to go on not that the Giants are a established team, but I think they're closer and have an easier path than the Raiders do.
Does he want to work with Brady? Does he want the number 1 pick? I don't know. I hope he wants the Giants. Michael Champlin, I think having the structure of ownership is something to note about hiring him too. Does the uncertainty of the front office scare him as well? No, because if he walks in there and says, I want my own GM, they're going to do that. He says, I want to work with Joe Schoen. Like, that's the last thing that I think is going to be a problem.
Yeah, it's like Joe Schoen has kept his job, but it doesn't seem like, and the Giants should not let Joe Schoen be the reason they don't get John Harbaugh. I think John Mara, like we've talked about the circumstances on why the Giants decided to keep Joe Schoen running that head coach search, and obviously everything that's going on with John Mara and himself and his health going on right now, and just having that stability with Joe Schoen and not needing to run a GM and a head coach search. If John Harbaugh's there, you have all the stability you need. Doesn't matter if he's bringing in a first-time GM, if he's making the roster decisions himself, whatever it is. John Harbaugh gives you the stability you need. You don't need Joe Schoen for stability if you have John Harbaugh.
And there's a lot of people that might say, well, Marshall, what are they going to do on offense? They haven't been good on offense. Ravens scored the 11th most points per game this year in the NFL, and Lamar Jackson missed multiple games and played hurt. Scored the 3rd most points in the NFL the year before that and the 4th most points in the NFL the year before that.
Yeah, and Zay Flowers has had a good, nice young start to his career, but what weapons do they have other than Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson? We've got a solid offensive line. They've got some decent tight ends, but, I mean, you look at some of the pieces that the Giants have on offense as well, with Malik Neighbors hopefully coming back healthy, Tyrone Tracy and Cam Scatterbo and Jaxson Dart. I think that the Giants could, with that and some additions as well, would be all right.
Champ, and we appreciate you, brother. Always showing love. Willie Webb, this would make us respect. Yeah, this gives you an immediate respectability. This gives you this raises your competition level as a team. This raises the floor of your team, and this raises the ceiling as well. This makes you a team that is in the mix to compete in the division every single week. We already went through the list. He's, without a doubt, a top 5 coach in the NFC, and I think he's closer to 3 than he is 5. Like,
the only guys I think was Shanahan and McVay are right. Like
McVay is the only one that I'm putting clearly ahead of him.
And the NFC East, we said he was the clear top coach. You look at the North, and like I think he's just as good as any coach in the North. They got some good coaches: LaFleur, Johnson, O'Connell, Dan Campbell. But he's accomplished more than all of those guys. He has a Super Bowl, and
he won the division in 2024 and 2023.
And the South.
And he was a missed kick away from getting to the field goal in a season that Lamar Jackson missed multiple games and played hurt for the last month of the season.
Yeah, it's like if we're trying to poke holes in how good of a coach John Harbaugh is, look at the last, 5 Giants head coaches. That's all you need.
Best coach you had since Tom Coughlin.
Not even
and
close.
It ain't even close.
Not close.
Jason, how does this sound? John is the head coach and Kingsbury is the OC?
I think so. The report that came out was one of the main reasons that John Harbaugh was fired, or at least one of the last things, and one of the sticking points was that he didn't want to move on from the Ravens offensive coordinator, Todd Monken. So the kind of reading the tea leaves there and connecting the dots would be that he has a strong relationship with Todd Monken, and there's a good chance that wherever he goes to be a head coach, he'll probably want to bring Todd Monken with him as the offensive coordinator. Now, we did a video today talking about Cliff Kingsbury because the Giants are expected to interview him, and Marshall's takeaway was that I don't know if I want him as the head coach, but I would love him as an offensive coordinator. So if that scenario does play out, I think that's a good scenario for the Giants. Kingsbury's proven that he can coordinate well, and he was able to get a lot out of Jaden Daniels in his rookie year. Obviously, Washington not as good this year. Daniels missed some time, but
they run the ball well. His run schemes are creative. Just bring in Todd Monken. Todd Monken just helped you be the number 1 and number 3 scoring offense, and number 11 this year in a down year. I don't know. We don't have to overthink this, right?
no, I don't think so. I think this is a
we don't have to overthink this.
no. This is a home run for the Giants.
Edward Lynch, my man, 4 Super Bowls with 2 hard-nosed coaches. Coincidence? Mara will do this considering his condition. He has to. He has to, Edward. There's no better option. What are you going to go do? Get Kevin Stefanski? What are you going to do? Go take a gamble on someone that's never been a head coach before? Didn't you do that the last 3 times?
And I feel like this John Harbaugh, like John Mara, has to love John Harbaugh. Like John Harbaugh has New York Giants written all over.
He looks like a Giants head coach.
He has New York, like the respected tradition, comes from a football family.
CEO.
Like it's just, it seems too.
He's
perfect.
NFL royalty.
It seems too perfect. It seems too perfect.
Unreal.
We got a 3-point goal. Rob Jigga. Bang!
Shout out to Rob Jigga. Hey, chat, you effing rock. I posted the news first. Message Marsh and everyone as fast as I can. Do I get any credit? No. My guy, I'm just messing with you. I saw it from Adam Schefter when he made the post. 5 seconds after I saw the news, I pulled my phone out and filmed a video about it. My question is this. If he is signed as a new head coach, who does he bring in as DC? I don't know who he'll bring in as DC. I don't know.
I think there's plenty of options. And this is one thing that I don't think we talked about on our videos, thing I thought about as well. John Harbaugh kind of has a little bit of a coaching tree. I don't know necessarily head coaches, but at least like guys, successful coordinators.
Been in the league 22 years. Or been in the league as head coach for 18 years. He's got a filing cabinet of people he can hire.
Yeah, I'm not worried about him finding someone good.
He'll be all right. The coordinator positions will be important. No doubt about it, because he is a CEO type of coach. I got more trust in him than any other coach that is available right now to fill out the staff in the best way possible.
Yeah, he doesn't technically specialize on either side of the ball, but you know a lot of football. You go 18 years in the NFL, you win a Super Bowl, you win all those division titles. You know a thing or two about football, and like you said, the connections that he has, comes from a football family, been in the league for so long. He's well respected. He's probably one of the most respected coaches in the NFL.
Rob, I give you credit for being on it, man, but unfortunately, I didn't hear the news from you. Unfortunately, I wish I did. I wish you told me the news prior to when I heard the news, which was 1 second after it was made public, but unfortunately not. I give you a lot of credit for being a real one. And a $50 super chat. Give me some RJs down in the chat. Shout out to my guy, Rob Jigga. Jose Rodriguez. Hire Dable as OC. Hopefully Dable doesn't go to Washington.
Yeah.
Newest rumor.
Or Philadelphia. I mean, I could see him going to Philadelphia if they move
Get him out of the NFC East. Last thing I need to see him is fist pumping going to the middle of the field. Harbaugh ain't losing.
Let him work with Mendoza.
Yeah. It's me. I don't know if it was already said, but the Ravens beat the Bills. If that pass wasn't dropped by Mark, I don't know what the Ravens are thinking. Missed field goal, drop pass, quarterback sneak fumble or whatever it was against Cincinnati. There's been some fluky ends to the Ravens past couple of seasons, and I think the people that made that happen, because it gives us a chance for him to be our head coach.
100%. Shout out to them. Tyler Loop, if I ever see you, I'll buy you a beer.
Yeah, Tyler Loop. Give me some TLs in the chat for Tyler Loop, the kicker that missed the field goal That was the last play of the John Harbaugh era.
We got a 3-point goal. Brian M. Bang!
Shout out to Brian M. A $50 super chat.
He says, if John Harbaugh was a portfolio manager, we'd all be making money with compounding interest. If we invested in Joe Shane and company, it's a bear market and we're happy. There is a double cheeseburger on the dollar menu at Macca's. I don't know if that's supposed to be McDonald's or whatever, but yeah. You catching that drift, Marsh? I know in a past life I was a finance major.
If John Harbaugh was a portfolio manager, we'd all be making money with I'm all about the compound interest. If we invested in Joe Shane and company, it's and we're happy. That is, yep. Can you explain this to the people that don't understand, Mr. Finance?
Sure. So basically,
is John Harbaugh the S&P 500
like
or
a stock
what?
that goes up and up? Yep.
The S&P 500.
The compounding interest means that when the money you make, you continue to reinvest, and it continues to grow more and more and more over the years. And basically, if you invest in Joe Shane, you're going to lose all your money. So,
yep. Joe Shane is one of those fancy cryptocurrencies, and we don't want that.
Nope. Shout out to Brian.
Brian, you're a real one, bro. Thank you for the major contributions to the channel. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. We still have over 1,100 people watching. We've already been live for an hour and 40 minutes. Over 12,000 people have tuned into the stream tonight, man. The support that this channel gets, the viewership, the love, it's something I'll never, ever take for granted. And, man, I get to live a dream.
Yeah, while we touch on that, anyone who hasn't been here yet, if you want the Giants to hire John Harbaugh, go ahead, like the video. We got 1,000 people here, almost 800 likes. Let's get over 800, and let's make John Harbaugh the next Giants head coach. And if you want them to hire John Harbaugh as well, let's get those JHs going in the chat.
Betting odds have been released.
Okay. For John Harbaugh's next team. Okay.
According to DK Sportsbook, a.k.a. DraftKings.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams have been listed with odds. At fifth place, who do you think it is? They are all teams that do not have a head coach right now.
Okay. Fifth place, give me the Titans.
No.
Are they on the list at all?
Yep.
Okay. The Falcons.
Nope.
The Browns.
Yes, the Browns have the longest odds.
That are on the list.
That are on the list.
One team that's not on there.
And it's the Cardinals, and they have no odds.
Okay.
So the Cardinals have no odds. Browns have the worst odds at plus 1,000. At plus 800.
Falcons.
No.
Then the Browns.
Well, Browns are plus 1,000.
Oh, the Browns are the fifth team. Then the
Cardinals, Browns, blank team at plus 800.
Titans.
Yes. There's a team at plus 650.
Then the Browns.
We've already established the Browns are plus 1,000.
Then the Falcons.
The Falcons.
Falcons. I know the first two teams I'm going with.
Number 2?
I'm hoping it's the Raiders.
It is the Las Vegas Raiders at plus 450. And at plus 150.
Wow.
Almost even money. The New York Giants come in.
That's
plus 150.
It's good stuff, man. That is great news. I'm struggling here, Bronx boy. I'm struggling.
Raiders. Browns. I already said Browns. But this one's Browns. He's so excited, guys. He's so excited.
All I was focused on was getting to the last one and saying Giants.
And hoping it was the Giants?
Yeah.
Me too. Let's go. Tuto Missouri coming in with a $5 super chat. Tuto! What up, beast? Massive salutes to King of the New York Giants media and podcast, Big Marsh and Lil Connell. And all the diehard Giants fans across the pond, greetings from all of us, speaking of his rugby team in Auckland, New Zealand.
Yeah. I want to be Tuto, man. They get to go everywhere. They travel the world. That's pretty cool, man. And yet he always tunes in and shows us love. Shout out to you, man. No matter where he is, what time of day, he's locked in.
I have a take. and not even a take. I think the first ever super chat on this channel was Tuto Missouri.
Really?
I remember going live in old Studio B with Matthew Peterson, former Browns Report host, producing this show. I would go live, he'd produce, then we'd switch chairs, and he'd go live, and I would produce. And Tuto was one of the first people that watched this channel and one of the first people to ever super chat and support with major love. Tuto, we love you, bro. We love you, man. Thank you. H-Bomb 529. AI says Ian Cunningham, assistant GM, Chicago Bears, is GM. I don't really care who's the GM.
Yeah, it's not sure.
I just want John Harbaugh.
That's not what we're focused on right now. We're focused on potentially getting Joe Shane out of here, if that's what is going to happen. But
Mikey Dior says minus 150?
where are you seeing that?
Where are you seeing that at? John Harbaugh, next team odds. Let's see. Yeah, Harbaugh is the instant favorite to become the new Giants head coach with odds of plus 150.
Plus 150.
That's what I got. I got
Hey,
plus 150.
I'd love minus 150.
Yeah, I wish it was minus 150.
Please
That means,
send us-
that
send
means
us
it's a done deal.
Send us where that is, because we're hoping that's the case.
Let's go.
Shout out to H-Bomb. Shout out to Jonas Siebold.
Jonas Seabolt, that's my guy. What up, Jonah? We're working on your jersey as we speak, my man. Shout out to you.
Yeah, he says, do whatever it takes. Go get John Harbaugh.
Do whatever it takes. I couldn't agree more. Maybe we get you a jersey that says John Harbaugh instead. Man, this is. It feels too good to be true, right?
It does. It seems too perfect. And as knowing what everything that's gone on related to the New York Giants over the last 10 years, part of me deep down just knows they're going to find a way to mess this up. Like, it's not going to be that Harbaugh doesn't want to coach them. It's going to be they are going to do something to mess it up.
I need to get the news the Giants are interviewing John Harbaugh tomorrow. I need that. Shout out to you, Jonah. You're a real one, man. A lot of people are super chatting, and there's some people asking if we got your super chat. If you sent it in, we got it, and we're going to pop it up on screen. Jose Rodriguez, my man, what's up, brother? Shout out to you. Thank you for supporting the channel. Man, if you got a comment, a question, a take, something, put it in the comments. We'll respond to it. Thank you for being here. Booze World. There'll be no booze if you hire John Harbaugh. Good Ravens free agents that might sign here. Ooh, that's a good one. I haven't even thought of that. That'd be a great video. Free agents John Harbaugh will bring from the Ravens.
I bet you there's a lot of guys on the Ravens who would be a lot better than the guys that the Giants have. So
unreal. Mario Meza. Come on, Harbaugh. I believe he can straighten out this organization. Yeah, I think he's the best man for the job. And to be honest with you, he's the only man for the job. Best and only man for the job. Give him the job. You should have already offered the job.
yes,
John, we don't need to interview you. You can have the job.
Yeah, they can't legally actually do that, but they should know already they want.
Just don't do it in writing.
Yeah,
maybe like on Snapchat where the messages disappear or something like that.
Not like they did last time. So
unreal.
We got a 3-point goal, Marty Malala, bang!
Shout out to Marty Malala. This man is a machine.
Marty Malala.
Shout out to Marty Malala. Good night, all. It's a dialysis night. Love you all. Give me some MMs in the comment section. Marty Malala, we love you, bro. We love you, man. He's a bangaholic, Bronx boy.
I love that.
He's a bangaholic.
Is that the new?
Is that the new word? And do we have bang bros and then bangaholics?
What's the level? Like, we gotta make.
Is it bang bros or bangaholics?
I don't know.
So Paul Schwartz of the New York Post just put an article out. I'm going to read it. The Giants had their first round of interviews set up for their head coach vacancy, but a new addition to the pool of candidates has forced an immediate adjustment. This is what happens when someone with the cachet and history of success that John Harbaugh possesses. The Ravens on Tuesday fired him. And yes, the Giants are interested in speaking with him. That figures to be the case for every team with an opening. Harbaugh, who is 63 years old, will be in high demand, and the Giants want to get in on him as soon as possible. He has 180 and 113 in the regular season and 13 and 11 in the postseason, winning the 2013 Super Bowl. Since then, though, the Ravens in the past 13 years have been in the playoffs 7 times, but made only 1 appearance in the AFC Championship game. Harbaugh went 8-9 in 2025, missing out on the playoffs with an agonizing loss to the rival Steelers in Week 18. This is not a typical former head coach hitting the open market. Harbaugh probably needed a change of scenery, and if he wants to work as a head coach in 2026, he will. What was expected to be a long and drawn-out process for the Giants just got longer and more drawn out. They are waiting to see what happens in the first round of the playoffs with Mike Tomlin and the Steelers and Matt LaFleur and the Packers. That's interesting. One or both of those respected head coaches could be let go, depending on how their teams fare this weekend. This could end up being a wild ride with a few monster candidates sorting through all sorts of offers. Shane has never worked with Harbaugh, but he is familiar with him. Their shared time in the league. It is not a requirement for Shane to have a connection with a candidate, but it certainly does not hurt. The Giants will interview Broncos DC Vance Joseph, and he will need to introduce himself to Shane. He will not need to introduce himself to Shane. We talked about that. And the rest of this is about Kevin Stefanski and Vance Joseph, which we do not care.
We do not care.
We do not care.
So you heard all of that, saying that there's going to be a wild ride for a head coach. Giants potentially also interested in Mike Tomlin and Matt LaFleur if they become available, along with some of the existing interviews they already have scheduled. We'll be here covering all of it. Any major news happens, we'll get a video out, we'll get a short out, we'll go live if something big enough happens. You see us here talking about John Harbaugh. You want to make sure you don't miss anything. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We're trying to get to 100K subscribers, and we need all the real ones to help us get there and support us. And
we're less than 850 away.
That's crazy. If you don't want to miss any updates about this Giants head coaching search, go ahead, subscribe, turn your notifications on, and stay locked in with us because we'll be covering it better than anyone else out there.
Wow. I just sent you a Slack if you want to pop that up. We'll continue to mow through these super chats. Major shout out to every single person that has super chatted the channel. Shout out to every person that has liked the video today, subscribe to the channel today, watch this video for a second. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, my gosh. What about that line of the Giants think that they have a shot on Tomlin and Matt LaFleur?
I mean, right
Packers
now,
head coach.
Obviously, if some of these guys become available, that's going to complicate it because then, like, if you're including the Ravens job in this, the Ravens job could be potentially more attractive than the Giants. Obviously, John Harbaugh not going to go back to the Ravens, but if you see some of these other guys get fired, they could. There's the possibility they could all just trade places, hypothetically, with some of these other jobs that are considered more attractive, and it'll complicate things a little bit. But the Giants, like we talked about, arguably the most attractive job right now that's open, they'd have a good shot at these guys, obviously. I think the fact that the Giants are, even though they haven't been and performed and acted like it, considered one of the premier NFL organizations, that should draw some people in, and they got some they got some players. They got the quarterback. That's big. Quarterback who looks like he has the talent to be a top-level quarterback. Got some good players on defense, some good players on offense. Haven't been able to put it all together and have underachieved, but they believe that they have a chance at some of the top coaches in the NFL if they get let go.
I mean, if you walk out of this with Harbaugh, Tomlin, or Matt LaFleur, you won the offseason.
100%. Like we talked about how maybe this wasn't a great crop of available coaches, talking about mostly the coordinators that are poised to become head coaches. But all three of those guys would be, if they're moved on from their current teams, I mean, you still put all those are all top, 15, 12 head coaches in the NFL. When you look at those guys, I mean, it's better than anything we could have imagined before we found out that, and like those guys may not become available, but at least we know John Harbaugh is now available, And we know the Giants should and hopefully will be interested in him.
I'd be this excited for Harbaugh. I'd be this excited for Tomlin. I do think, though, LaFleur is clearly number 3 amongst those for me.
Yeah, at least proven. Both of those guys are Super Bowl champs, so it's hard to argue with that. And the consistency they've shown over the years. Matt LaFleur done a great job in his time with Green Bay, his first head coaching job. Hasn't been able to kind of break through in the playoffs yet, but listen, Matt LaFleur was a Giants head coach. I'd be pretty happy.
We got a 3-point goal. Zachary Beecham. Bang! Shout out to the Zactacular, a $50 Venmo. Major shout out to him, bro. He's in the chat. Give me some ZBs down below. Major salute. Thank you for supporting this channel. Really, really appreciate it. That means a lot to us. Thank you so much. Seriously. He says, who are your ideal versus realistic target draft picks all rounds? I'm not ready to talk 7 rounds of the NFL draft, to be honest with you. I've been kind of zeroed in on this head coach search a little bit more than draft prep at this point.
It's the first order of business for the Giants.
Yeah, I think in the first round, I'll just give me 1 second.
Look up a big board.
Yeah, I think Arvell Reese is a potential pick. Linebacker out of Ohio State. Francis, I don't know how to say his last name. Maui, I don't know. Right tackle out of Miami. I think he's an option. I think Jordan Tyson, wide receiver out of Arizona State, is an option. I think Carnell Tate. What did I say? Did I say Arizona State or Ohio State?
You said Arizona State, Jordan Tyson.
Yeah.
Tyson.
And then Carnell Tate, Ohio State. Someone that I think it's a little early at pick number 5, but I have a draft crush on him right now is Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end out of Oregon. Mekhi Lemon, I think that would be a little early. And Caleb Downs. I think Caleb Downs is firmly in the mix at number 5. And the players that I think the Giants could pick at 5 are as follows. Caleb Downs, Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson, Francis Moyaga, Maui Goa, and Arvell Reese. And maybe Spencer Fano, offensive tackle out of Utah. I kind of think those are the only ones right now.
Yeah, and it's so early in the draft process, things can change.
And you just trade up.
Yeah. I guess there's still time for guys to declare, right? That deadline has not happened yet. Then there'll be the combine, then there'll be pro days, and then there'll be private workouts. So that clear pecking order hasn't really been established yet in terms of who the top prospects are. There's guys that obviously, all the best players in college football, but this stuff seems to change as the teams get more information, as there's more data out there on these players as well, and as they get to meet them and learn them and learn what they're about. When you're picking in the top 5, you're drafting not only the football player but the person as well. So that will be a factor in it also. But good question. Appreciate you supporting the show, Zach.
Zach, bro, major salute, man. Thank you. Can I get some more ZBs in the chat? Let's go. Robert Smith, $10 super chat. Thank you, Robert. If you have a comment, a question, a take, a thought, if you want to fire something our way, let us know in the comments. We'll respond to that. Thank you, bro. Michael Champlin, as to regards of my ownership super chat, I'm talking about Maris Health and who's running it. Maybe that could be something where he's like, I don't really know what's going on in your front office right now. We know what's going on with John Mara. God bless him. Maybe. It could be. I don't know, though. I think it's a legitimate concern.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, John Harbaugh it would be wise of him if he is interested in the head coaching position of the Giants to just ask and get clarity on that. If it's something he's concerned about. And hopefully he wants to coach the Giants so bad that he wants to get the clarity on that and learn about what's going on in their front office and try and figure out who he wants to work with the New York Giants. We'll see. Like we talked about, that report came out from Art Stapleton. This is going to be a long, drawn-out thing that seems like the Giants are waiting to see in totality who's going to become available. They're not going to rush their head coaching hire. They have some interviews set up already with some candidates. This is just getting started, it seems like. So
let's go. Brian M. back again, an MVP of today's show. Major salute to you, Brian. Who's our OC when the Giants signed John Harbaugh? I would believe Todd Monken is probably the leader in that clubhouse. He's the current offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. We've heard some smoke that one of the main reasons that this marriage finally broke with the Ravens and Harbaugh is that John Harbaugh was not willing to fire Todd Monken. And if you could get Monken, that'd be pretty good. In the last 3 seasons, the Baltimore Ravens have fared pretty well at scoring offenses. In 2023, when Monken took over for Greg Roman, they averaged 28.4 points per game, 4th most in the NFL. In 2024, they averaged 30.5 points per game, 3rd in the NFL. And this past year, they averaged 24.9 points per game, 11th in the NFL. So I'd be all in on Todd Monken. Run the ball, aggressive, downhill, play action, get back to New York Giants football. Monken, 59 years old.
Those are pretty good. Those are good
pretty good
to have.
Numbers.
Yeah.
And I think they're even better when you just strictly talk about. No, that's right. Those numbers are right. 3, 4, and 11 in the last 3 years in scoring.
Oh, let's fire. We have to fire him. I don't know what Baltimore's thinking, but thank you.
Yeah, we got to get Monken out of there. BTD reacts. Harbaugh will pick the G-men. Better talent overall with the exception of Atlanta, but Dart is better than Penix. Plus, we still have a top 5 pick each round. Don't have a top 5 pick in the 3rd round, but yes, you do have top 5 picks in other rounds.
I think they might have swapped one of their later picks.
Yeah, I can look it up right now.
Picture.
They would have they have an extra 6th round pick from the Miami Dolphins and an extra 6th round pick from the Dallas Cowboys. So you'll pick the top of round 1, top of round 2, top of round 4, top of round 5, top of round 6, and then you'll close out the draft with late picks. Or actually kind of early 6th round picks for Miami and Dallas.
That's where teams like the Baltimore Ravens find contributors. So if the Giants can become a team that turns 6th round picks into valuable contributors, that's just another feather in John Harbaugh's cap and a reason why the Giants should go after him.
7th most playoff wins of all time.
13, right? Was it 13-11 in the playoffs? Yeah. It's
and it's a guy that could be your head coach for another 10.
What is he, in his late 50s?
He is 60. I want to say 63.
He's a young 63.
Oh, he's so young, 63.
Energetic.
Head coach for the next 10 years.
Yeah. Thinking back on that last Super Chat, actually talking about, or like just that Todd Monken conversation, and this is really not for us to discuss as Giants now, but do you think, what was the reason why they wanted to move on from Todd Monken to be so good? Do you think that's a Lamar Jackson issue?
Maybe.
I mean, that's the only reason I'm thinking of, just like this guy's, they've done nothing but score points. Why would you want to get rid of him? So, shout out to BTD Reacts. Yeah, like I'm assuming this kind of came in when we were talking about what other jobs would be attractive. Yeah, I'd say Jaxson Dart. I mean, we're biased, but Jaxson Dart over Michael Penix. And Falcons don't have a 1st round pick. Giants have a top 5 pick. So,
I think your biggest competition are teams that are still playing right now.
100%.
I think the competition are the teams that are still playing. Is there a team that loses in the playoffs before they think they should lose and fire their head coach?
Does that mean now that we have to root for teams that are like a little iffy? It's going to help the Giants. Whatever the Giants need. Don't know if I can root for the Eagles, though.
A. Rivera, for the love of God, get John Harbaugh in the building. Yeah, no, facts. Got to, A. Rivera. Find a way, bro. Find a way. Joseph, what's up, bro? Brian Dable's quarterback coach reunites with Jaxson Dart. Brian Dable will never work for the New York Giants again. Brian Dable will never work for the New York Giants again. Roberto Ruiz, this is as close to Bill Parcells as it gets. John Harbaugh. Yeah, this would be the best head coach you've had since Tom Coughlin. Best coach you've had in 13 years or whatever it's been.
It's not close.
GC Fuertes. praying this hire happens. The only fear I have is Joe sabotaging it somehow out of fear for his job. If the Giants, and I mean the Giants, I don't mean Joe Schoen. Joe Schoen is not the Giants. Let's get that abundantly clear. Joe Schoen is Joe Schoen. Joe Schoen is doing what is best for Joe Schoen. The Giants, if the Giants get wind that John Harbaugh wants to be a Giant, but John Harbaugh doesn't want to work with Joe Schoen, the bags for Schoen will be packed.
See ya.
I can confidently say that. Davey, 95. If John Harbaugh becomes the next Giants head coach, who we want to bring in, yeah, I think there's a legit shot. I think I put it earlier, and I'd stick at this term, 60%. If he gets this job, I think 60% chance he brings in a new GM. And that may need to be a selling point for the Giants. We'll let you have player personnel control, and we'll let you bring in your own GM.
Do what you want, John. Whatever you need.
Yeah, whatever you need. You want my office? You want John Mayer's office? Take it. Woo! Bat baby. Likely would instantly upgrade our tight end room. Yeah.
That was someone super chatted earlier saying what kind of free agents could he bring. I believe they just signed Mark Andrews to an extension. I think likely is a
Isaiah Likely
or whatever, but that would that'd be pretty sweet. Jaxson Dart also likes to use the tight end as well, so I'm.
What do you mean by that?
Likes to throw to tight end.
No, okay, that's what I thought you meant. That's what I thought you meant. Bronx Boy was asking in the chat.
I know Vinny's watching, so I'm sure.
Ryan Brogan says, I don't think that's true. Okay. I think it is. So who wins? It's your opinion versus mine. That's all it is. It's an opinion. It's okay if you don't agree with mine. I don't agree with yours either. But we'll see. We'll see. We only have people around the NFL saying that he's the type of coach that has the cachet to get it done. That's where we're at. That's where we're at.
We got a 3-point goal. Seth Gross,
bang! Seth Gross, $50 super chat. Give me some SGs in the comment section. Seth Gross, my man.
Seth Gross.
Better days feel like they're around the corner. Better days are around the corner. It feels like it. When Andy Reid left Philly, he was scheduled for an interview with Kansas City and San Diego. He never made it to San Diego. Please, Joe Schoen, learn a lesson here. When Harbaugh steps in the building, lock the doors and don't let him leave. I agree.
So when I saw this come in, I thought the schedule which John Harbaugh takes his interviews will be very interesting.
Yeah.
That will be something
The order
to
of
watch.
interviews?
Yeah, which teams he interviews with first, and then because I'm sure every team, if they want John Harbaugh to be their coach, is thinking that same thing. So I don't know. Is he going to, whatever team he picks first, is it going to be if he like what I hear, I'm good, I'm ready to go, I'm sold? Is he going to want to hear out every team that is interested in hiring him?
I got you, Ryan. I got you. I thought you were talking about my opinion that there's a 60% chance if they hire Harbaugh that he could force Joe Schoen out.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think that's going to be something to watch, something to monitor, what order Harbaugh takes the interviews in. But it seems like the Giants are almost waiting to see what happens with some other coaches who are currently employed as well. So
I know Joe Schoen's the GM, and I know Joe Schoen is the one conducting the interviews. But I think something we heard yesterday is ownership's going to be sitting in on those interviews. And he said ownership will ultimately make the final decision.
made that clear.
I think this is the Giants having to sell themselves. Not Joe Schoen selling himself. The New York Giants selling themselves as an organization. I
think like John Mara almost looks at this as like a blessing in disguise, having a clear-cut number one guy who the Giants should be running to hire, instead of having to kind of go through an exhaustive search and debate and deliberate which candidate is going to be the best at a potential coordinator or a guy, fired head coach like Mark McCarthy or Kevin Stefanski. I think having a guy like John Harbaugh available, John Mara may look at that and think, wow, like this is exactly what I was looking for, a clear-cut guy who I know can upgrade the Giants and be the guy.
There was a super chat that got skipped after Marty Malala. A. Sealy, 100, sent in a $5 super chat. We apologize for that, man. We'll get that up on screen in a second. Sometimes our system is a little bit slow to get this one. Yeah, Eminence and Shadow, major salute to you. Sorry about that, brother. Not on purpose.
Yeah.
F. Andrew Kyle in the chat. Harbaugh should request we get
know.
rid of Shane and we get a new stadium. Yeah, if he wants a new stadium, get a new stadium. Like, I don't think there's anything he can ask for that I don't think the Giants should be willing to do.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I think the biggest thing you mentioned was giving ownership of the team, and if they're willing to do that, they're willing to do anything they want to get him. So, and I think they should be willing to do anything to get him because they need to. He's the quickest and the easiest answer to break this cycle that they've had of coaches that haven't worked out and getting fired after every 2 or 3 years, or just consistent losing season after season, or having one good season and then immediately falling back down to being one of the worst teams in the NFL. His resume speaks for itself. He is proven winner in this league, and like we said, would be by far and away the best Giants coach they've had since Tom Coughlin.
My man, Eminence, I appreciate that, bro. Thank you, man. Thank
bad,
you,
man.
bro. Thank you
bad.
for the kind words, man. I appreciate that. Eric Cruz says, my super chat get skipped too, bro? I don't know, Eric
No,
Cruz.
we haven't gotten to it yet.
We haven't gotten to it.
I see yours.
That's the only one we skipped. And it was not on purpose. Will, what up, bro? If we land Harbaugh, I will buy 20 Tyler Loop jerseys.
I think we should give one away. If
What about a shirt? Thank you, Loop.
Yeah, I like that. Raffle, next jersey raffle, Tyler Loop.
Man. Find a way. Find a way.
Do whatever it takes.
I hate to say this. Get the Rooney Rule hires interviews out of the way. I feel like an asshole saying that. The Rooney Rule was put in place for the right reasons. It was the right process creating that rule.
It wasn't for teams to decide whether or not they should hire John Harbaugh.
Yeah. Thomas, Joakim, are you related to Noah? Crazy take, but imagine we sign Mike Tomlin and deal.
Well, we joked about this.
We did joke about it.
Before the
You would be the T.C. Williams
Titans.
And remember the Titans. I'm in.
Let's do
I'm
it.
in. Shout out to you,
They were a
Joakim
pretty
Noah.
good football team.
Big Blue Boss. Love that profile picture. Please hire Jim Harbaugh. Please hire Jim Harbaugh. Yeah.
It's quick.
I don't even know if it's please Giants hire Jim Harbaugh. Please John Harbaugh choose the Giants.
Yeah, and John Mara, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ambassador, Giants closet to
Closest.
close. I'm blind. Giants closest to his home in Baltimore. Helps.
I guess like the closest geographical team.
Maybe.
Yeah, well, I think we said he seems like a Northeast guy. I don't know where he's from originally, but obviously has been in Baltimore for the last 20 years. So if that's a factor for him, I wouldn't imagine that's too much of a factor. But if it is, that works to the Giants' favor. We'll see. I'm sure more will come out about in the next day or coming days about John Harbaugh's plans and maybe interviews he's going to set up with teams. But in theory, if that's important to him, location's important to him, what better place than New York? Close to where you've lived for the last 20 years as well. So.
A. Rivera. In John Harbaugh's eyes, which team would be the best choice for him? I'd say the New York Giants, no question, closer to a playoff team than the Raiders. You the man, Marsh. A. Rivera, you the man, bro. I think of all the teams that are available or are looking for head coaches, and I'm biased, I get it. I think the Giants are a better spot right now than the Tennessee Titans. I think the Giants are in a better spot than the Browns right now. I think the Giants are in a better spot than the Cardinals. I think the Giants are in a better spot than the Atlanta Falcons. I think the Giants are in a better spot than the Las Vegas Raiders. Your biggest competition are teams that are in the playoffs right now that could potentially fire their head coach if the organization believes that their season ended before it should have and they will fire their current head coach. Keep your eyes on the Buffalo Bills and Sean McDermott. Maybe a team is it crazy to think the Eagles could fire Nick Sirianni if they lose in round 1 this year?
I wouldn't put anything past the Eagles, yeah.
No.
I wouldn't put anything past the Eagles. Yeah.
I mean, is it crazy to think the Eagles could fire Nick Sirianni if they lose in round 1 this year? No. Yeah, so that's your biggest competition. There's reportedly been 7 teams that have already contacted John Harbaugh. There's only 6 teams that have available head coaching spots. So there's already teams that have head coaches that are contacting John Harbaugh. If you see a team tomorrow fire their head coach, that's a little shocking. I think that would be a little concerning. Because I don't think a team that has a head coach right now would fire their head coach unless they believed that they are going to hire John Harbaugh.
Yeah, that would be not good news for the Giants.
Yeah, so keep your eyes on that. Eric Cruz, Harbaugh could get us to a Super Bowl in 2 to 3 years. Let's get to the playoffs. Yes, Super Bowl is the goal. It should be the only goal. The teams that make the playoffs every year change. The Jags just made the playoffs, and they picked 5th in the draft.
I think it's like somewhere around 50% of the playoff teams change year to year.
Making the playoffs shouldn't be the long-term goal.
It's the first step.
It's the first step. But, yeah, the goal is championships. And I think Harbaugh gives you a better shot to get to the be a championship-level team sooner than anybody that is available.
Yeah, and like I said, I will say one more thing about that 2 to 3 year timeline lines up pretty well with the Jaxson Dart rookie contract,
Yeah,
which
that's a good
would
point.
probably be a roster-building philosophy and goal to try and surround him with as much talent. And if he does become the guy, you're going to need to pay him big, big bucks. So that'll hamper your ability to build out the rest of the roster.
Mark Martin, Marsh, if we don't make John Harbaugh our coach, I might crash out way worse than you ever have. For real, we got to make this happen. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think the only way it doesn't happen is if he doesn't want to be here. If John Harbaugh wants to be here, he's going to be here. I feel confident in that. I don't think the Giants have acted like the brightest organization recently, but they're not dumb enough to pass up on John Harbaugh if he wants to be here.
Let's hope they're not.
Well, let's hope not. Jonas Siebel, John Harbaugh jerseys all the way. I love the coverage. Nobody does it better. Joan, I appreciate you, man. Seriously. Again, apologies for the delays, but promise, we got you. You can ask a million other people in this chat when they want stuff from us. It gets there. Sometimes it takes a little longer than we would like, but we got you covered, and we're going to hook you up. I'm going to hook you up with some Giants Now swag as well. Jason, what up, my man? Let's thank the Ravens in choosing that overrated diva Lamar over John. I'll just thank them for firing John Harbaugh.
I think Tyler Loop.
Yeah, and Tyler Loop. Tyler Loop and
Andrews
Mark
dropping the
Andrews
ball.
and the Ravens. Thank you. Nobody out footballs the Harbaughs. I agree. Trevor Johnson, who is your pick? I don't know. For the offensive coordinator, I would definitely be interested in bringing in Todd Monken. I don't know. I don't know who I'd bring in as defensive coordinator. And whoever he brings in, I'm cool with it.
Trust John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Guy knows football.
Guy knows ball. Ryan, need John Harbaugh more than I need air. Go get him. G-Men. I'm with you, Ryan. I'm with you, bro.
We got 2 more that came in that waiting to, or 1 more after Ryan. We got Jaleel Clinton coming in. Here it is. Shout out to Jaleel.
Jaleel. Harbaugh will bring Wink back to... No, they do not have a good relationship. Him and Wink Martindale do not like each other. There's a reason that he was fired. Or however that ended.
That's it. We're caught up. No, yeah, we're caught up.
All right. Okie dokie. We are going to sign off on the show. We've been live for almost 3 hours at this point. Thank you to every single person that has tuned in today. Thank you to every single person that continues to support this show. We'll have a video out on the channel in the morning with the latest news and the latest rumors surrounding this football team, surrounding John Harbaugh.
Mark came in at the buzzer here.
And we'll have at minimum 2 videos on the channel tomorrow. If there is something around the New York Giants, we will get you a video. They also are, we haven't talked about it yet. I haven't got to do a video on it yet. This news kind of trumped that. They are interviewing Clint Kubiak as well. I think that's something to be excited about as well. But this is a John Harbaugh job, and John Harbaugh trumps every name that we've ever even thought of available coaches. I think. I'll ask you this question: would you rather have Mike Tomlin or John Harbaugh?
Mike Tomlin did just beat John Harbaugh, although probably Mike Tomlin. John Harbaugh has had Lamar the last couple of years. Mike Tomlin's had pretty much nobody at the quarterback position. That was kind of what I went to as the tiebreaker there. What about you?
Yeah, I think I lean Mike Tomlin.
They have eerily similar styles, I feel like, and coaching resumes. So that was just what I went to as a tiebreaker. Is that
we're splitting hairs.
Yeah. I would love to have that problem choosing between Mike Tomlin and John
Yeah, that's a
Harbaugh.
great problem to have. We'll see. We'll see. Mark Martin, last super chat of the day. What's funny is when I saw the Ravens fire John Harbaugh, I immediately ran to your YouTube. Man, that's why you subscribe, and that's why you're a real one, bro. Not a lot we can guarantee in this life, but can guarantee you this. When Giants news breaks, when there's things to talk about, shout out to the awesome team we have here at Chat Sports. We're able to do things like that. Whenever there's news, whenever there's rumors, when we got to stop what we're doing and get you guys a Giants video, we'll do it. Doesn't matter where we are. Doesn't matter what time it is. We'll get you guys the info that you need. Brian, last super chat coming in. We'll pop those up, and then we're going to head on out. If everyone could hit that like button on the way out, would really, really appreciate it.
82 to get to 1,000. There's 700 people in here now. 82 people haven't liked it yet.
Let's go. Hit that thumbs up icon on your way out. Would really, really appreciate it. Brian says, if Harbaugh becomes our head coach, I'm buying a Loop jersey. You think you can bring in Raheem for DC? Different tree, but just shooting shots. I think it'd be cool to bring in Raheem Morris as DC. I'd have to go and do a deep dive of who he's worked with, who could be the next DC, and things of that nature, and reach out to some people and see what's available. I'm kind of the belief, though, let John cook. Like let him cook. I have my opinions. I believe in my opinions due to the work that we put in here. I have opinions. I have strong opinions. I'm going to give John Harbaugh the benefit of the doubt with the moves that he makes here.
Yeah.
He's going to have my trust and my blind faith until he doesn't.
Think about it. When's the last time you could trust every move the Giants made? When's the last time you Giants made a move and you were just like, okay, I believe them. I know they're going to do the right thing, because it hasn't been like that in a long time.
Agreed. All right. Shout out to everyone. CTM, we love you. Thank you for being here, CTM. We love you. We'll see you guys tomorrow with the latest news and rumors on the Giants.